things.
Do you?
Yep.
I like it when we just suddenly appear on the internet.
I do. It's the best.
Just bam,
Just
we're on the internet.
Boom, just all over the internet.
Yeah. Hi, internet.
Hello.
We're here to all over you.
Hope not.
Well, I was quoting you. I
I never said any such thing.
yeah, you did.
Wish he wasn't a liar.
I was here like 8 seconds ago.
Also a lie.
Mm-hmm. Hi, internet.
Hi, internet.
Hello to the internet.
I was here. I was also there when I said that like 8 seconds ago.
Way to be all over that mute button, Chuck.
I was just making sure. Got to make sure we have these things.
Don't try to cover up your incompetence. The fuck's... Disgraceful. Just tell
What is this while you were away
telling
shit?
fibs. What?
What?
It's a new Twitter thing? While you were away.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's been around for
Oh
a
yeah.
while.
Stay off of that.
Twitter website is garbage website. He's bad.
Well, except like,
Oh, no, he's garbage. Don't
no,
worry.
there are things you can only do on it sometimes, unfortunately.
Such as?
Turn off retweets.
Like, yeah, yeah, because most individual things are that thing specific.
Yeah.
So, like, if you want to mute somebody for real, you need to do it on there. But you can
block
also like put a SMS notification on there. So, like, if you're trying to follow something that's going to tweet, you can have it send you a text message when they do, which is useful. Like if you're waiting for like something to go on sale, or and you're like, oh shit, boom,
Yeah.
Oh shit! Boom.
yeah,
Boom, y'all.
and then still not get what you were looking for because it's sold out fucking immediately.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to be like at like 12:20 when I was at fucking lunch, and so like I'm dependent on my data to try to pull that shit off.
What were you trying to get?
Mondo.
A Mondo Mad Max poster.
Oh. I saw they're doing like
See, that was like the first time in a long time they put out the thing on the day of the movie where you had a chance to actually have seen it.
Huh.
Most of the time it's like, hey, go ahead and buy this like $75 Tomorrowland poster when it comes out next week.
It's like, well, I don't know if I want it.
Yeah, I don't have a clue if that movie is going to be any good.
Tomorrowland could suck.
Yeah.
And by all accounts, it does.
Mm-hmm. Lindelof strikes again.
Huh?
Damon Lindelof strikes again.
What's that? He's striking?
He wrote
He's on strike.
the movie.
Jesus.
Yeah,
None of us are understanding shit tonight. We just should go home.
Nah, we should do the show first.
No.
We don't do the show,
No.
though.
No,
let's
the
do
show's
a podcast.
terrible.
No, it's going to be good.
No.
Come on, people
No.
are listening now. We can't.
No, they're not. It's just you and me in the chat.
Oh,
Oh, we have a chat?
Yes. Every week.
Do we have an IRC?
No.
My number
No.
is 98743.
yes. Get your ICQ on.
687-377-43336.
Nobody's ICQ number is that long.
Mine's pretty long.
I registered real late for
Yeah,
it.
it was the last days of ICQ.
Like yesterday?
Haha, Kyle beat you to the joke.
I wasn't going to make the joke this episode, so suck it, Kyle.
You think so?
Oh, you think so?
You think so?
That's what you think.
Yeah.
More like,
God.
I got an answer for you. You were going to do it. I know you. You were going to do it.
See, that's how Kevin Owens acts.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
oh, okay, I get it. Now I get it.
Who's
I've seen
Kevin
it.
Owens?
He's a wrestler.
Is he the guy
Bad
like that was
wrestler
in
guy.
Ride Along and the other stuff with Ice Cube? That's Kevin Hart.
No, he's the guy that falls down a lot.
No, that's
Yeah. Kevin Owens Mall Cop.
no, that's
That's Jim Kevin.
no, that's Melissa McCarthy, the guy that falls down a lot.
Right.
Hey, okay, so I think it was at a movie. I saw a trailer for Spy.
Yeah.
First
Yeah.
thing fucking Melissa McCarthy does,
Fall down.
fall the fuck down. Fuck! Like,
That's
why don't you
No,
try to be funny?
Serious question: is Paul Feig not allowed to make a movie without her now? He directed Spy as well.
Yeah, he did.
Like
What else has he done?
Bridesmaids,
Ghostbusters.
Ghostbusters. What was the one last year?
Wait,
Tammy.
no, new.
Any movie that you can think of that has Melissa McCarthy as the main character, he directed it.
Okay, so
So
he's
he is
terrible.
as much to blame as she is at this
Okay.
point.
Neither of them.
But
are to blame.
Bridesmaids is actually like she's tolerable in that because she's kind of like an antidote to the rest of the characters, and she's
Who's
not
to
in
blame
it all
then,
that
Chuck?
much.
the people buying tickets for those movies that allowing them to
Well,
keep making
nobody
them.
bought Tammy and Spy. Like I haven't seen a commercial for it. I haven't seen anything.
I've
for
seen
that
one
movie.
trailer for it, and I hope that movie burns in hell.
I saw a trailer where I was like, "What is this?" And then she ran like headfirst into a car, and I was like, "Oh, ha ha ha."
Ha.
Ha ha ha. Danny.
Three's a crowd, Danny.
3 is a crowd, Danny.
You're tearing me apart, Lisa. Everyone has betrayed me. I am fed up with this world.
Your Tommy Wiseau impersonation is so good. How did you get so good at it? Tell me your secret.
Years of practice. Years. It's been 6 years since we watched that. Think about that for a minute. Meditate on your life.
Has it really been
I'm
6
done.
years since we... What?
They said, think about it. I'm done.
Oh, yeah.
Think about it.
So,
Oh,
Nintendo 274.
we ready to do this?
Yes.
9105 Jocks BMF. 9105569263.
So, spoilers about Mad Max. He's angry. Or perhaps
There's no way to spoil it.
insane.
There really isn't.
Yeah, I mean...
There really isn't. Unless you tell what happens at the very end of the movie.
There's credits.
We're not going to talk. We're not going to talk spoilery stuff.
You're going to make a podcast now?
Someone's got to clap,
Yeah.
and then after the clap, we start talking. Yeah,
Do we want the thing or no? We need the thing? Nah. You all nah?
yeah, we'll wing it.
Wing it.
Hey, BMFcast!
Hey.
Bamcast.
It's a podcast! Yay!
That is an accurate description of what we do. I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
Hi, I'm BJ.
I'm Chuck.
And what we do each and every episode of the BMFcast is first we podcast.
Yeah.
Well, actually, first we go and
Yeah, that's
Before we
step
podcast.
one
You've
of
already got
one.
the order wrong.
Step 1 of 1 podcast.
Already the order
Done.
is out of order.
wait. You mean we don't podcast first?
No.
Oh, that's right. We watch ourselves a quote unquote bad movie. And we come in here and talk about it for the first half. That's the podcasting part.
Right.
And then we rate them. Good bad movies, enjoyable bad movies. You get 1 to 5 jocks and robot jocks.
That's a good movie.
All right.
That's a good bad movie.
That is a good bad movie.
The best.
But you know what happens to bad movies?
Oh, no.
They get rated with a negative sliding scale, 1 to 5 bags, as in douchebags.
Is that after Twilight?
It is.
Wow.
It is.
We consider that a bad
Full
bad
marks
movie.
to you, sir.
Yes, that is a not
Finally,
enjoyable
after
bad movie.
693 episodes, I figured it out.
The action in that movie is quite poor.
Yes,
It
not
is.
good action.
Everything in that movie is quite poor.
That is true.
Climbing up trees is
Thus, it being the benchmark for our lowness.
It's just fun to say bags.
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 Sacks. Sacks of bags.
So,
Yeah?
here we are back with another movie.
We are. Man, we are bringing the thunder today.
We thought we'd do something new.
Who would have thought? Who would have thought?
I don't have, I'm literally out of transitions for we're going to talk about the movie now. There are none.
You could say, so let us begin to speak about the movie.
Oh, I kind of did. And then
Okay.
we were like, bah!
Yeah.
1990s Cartel.
Cartel what?
Cartel.
Cartel.
Cartel everybody, even the mayor.
Yeah.
Reach up in the sky to the... No.
Check engine light.
From
I
the
don't know.
director of Action USA.
Yes.
Correct. Bamcast alum, that guy.
Jon
Stewart.
Host of The Daily Show.
Yes.
And Green Lantern.
And Green Lantern.
So, plot summary? I think we usually do that, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
You usually do that.
Oh, okay.
We don't.
Chuck Taylor is a victim of harassment from a drug lord. After he is framed for smuggling and his sister is killed, he decides to seek revenge.
Yeah.
Keeping it simple.
Sure.
It
That-
was short or tell a whole movie,
No,
which
that's
is
good.
what we're going to do.
We're going to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Chuck Taylor.
Chuck Taylor, maker of shoes.
Maker of shoes.
So there's some people in this movie we've seen before.
Yeah. Chuck Taylor's played by Miles O'Keefe.
Yes. Who we haven't seen before.
Amazingly.
Yeah.
Amazingly, yeah.
His career is a pile of garbage.
Yeah.
But
He's like Ator, Tarzan the Ape Man,
Yeah.
Blade Master.
yeah, just hasn't made his way here until now.
Until now.
Yeah. But Don Stroud,
A decorated BMFcast alum.
absolutely. Slaughter's big ripoff.
Yep.
License to Kill.
That may as well be a BMFcast
Yeah,
movie. We've
yes.
mentioned License to Kill so many times.
Yeah.
Wait, which one did we do?
What?
We did it, Steven.
Slaughter's big ripoff.
We did a Steven Seagal movie. What movies do we do?
No, we're talking License to Kill. the James
License.
Bond
Oh,
movie.
sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm thinking. God damn it. Three word titles. I immediately go
yes.
fuck. Steven
Hard to
Seagal.
Kill.
Hard to kill. Yeah.
Hard to Kill.
Excuse me while I die.
God damn. Let me
You
clear
were-
my throat.
You were thinking of Corey Haim in License to Drive.
I was not.
Sorry, I'm still dying.
Yeah, I'm still letting him die. I've paused.
These are bonus live stream
Yeah.
coughs.
Oh.
PJ, let it be known that when you die, you will give me pause.
Thank you.
I could probably get up and do something about it, but nah.
No. Don't worry about it.
No.
If I'm dying, just
Yeah.
let me go.
Are you choking?
Oh, you're also going out of
You were
focus.
not giving. You
Come back into
were
the
not
light,
giving.
PJ. Go into the light.
You have to give the universal sign. You have to go.
Don't worry. If I'm choking, I will just choke to death so that you guys don't have to fuck with it.
Okay.
Well, we appreciate
Well,
that.
that's nice.
We'll
Thank
just
you.
do it quietly.
Yeah, well,
I don't do the editing, but I would assume that if you die quietly, it's a lot easier for them to.
Yeah, I can just work right around
hopefully
it.
if you see I'm dying, you'll just wait for a minute until I die and then carry on.
This don't take too long.
I'll do my best.
We got shit to do.
I'll do my best.
You die on your own time.
You can just drag me out into the kitchen or something and let me die on the tile so at least it's easy to clean up.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's Cartel.
Yeah, that's good.
Bonus live stream content, Patreon worthy.
What were we saying? I don't know.
I'm sorry.
We were discussing BMFcast alums, if I'm not mistaken.
Oh,
Right, Steven
License to
Seagal.
right. Yes.
Yeah,
Sorry.
License to
Beastie Boys album, License to Ill.
Yes. Star of License to Ill and Ill Communication.
Right.
Max von
and-
Sydow.
Yeah. And as we noted last, well, maybe we didn't talk about it on the air, but we were
Right.
trying to determine who the leading Bamfcast alum was, and obviously it's Steve James, but like coming right up behind him is William Smith,
Oh yeah.
and he's catching up because here he is in this.
Yeah,
It's kind
barely.
of he's. I think they were just on this. He just showed up on the set, and they were like, "Hey, I don't know, why don't you do something?"
He's probably just friends with Jon Stewart because
Yeah.
he was in Action USA as
That's
well.
true. Yeah. So, yeah, and some other people.
Yeah. A lot of stuntman types,
Yeah,
which is fine. It's what you want.
I guess it is what you want. Yeah.
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 I like stuntmen.
Apparently, the director does as well, being a stuntman himself.
Yeah. He could be probably called in a lot of stuntman favors.
Probably,
He's probably on the stuntman message board, like, hey,
on the BBS,
yeah. alt.stuntmen.
calling all
Dot
stuntmen.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So anyway, this movie,
This movie.
Cartel,
Right.
This fucking
starts out with Miles O'Keefe flying his plane through the air,
That is where planes fly.
where we get a dope ass song,
Yeah, it does have a theme song.
"Flying Blind," where it's
There
just
are
talking.
switches flipped.
Yeah,
And radios
he's
dialed.
doing airplane things.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just flying.
Looking at some pictures, I think. Didn't he take pause?
He's got
for-
pictures on his
Oh,
dash.
that's what it is on the dash.
Family members.
go-
Console, perhaps.
Yeah.
I don't know.
If you're a pilot, that's what you do.
You have pictures.
Yeah.
You need a reminder to not die.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like I could just run this right into the ground.
Well,
Oh
that's
wait,
also-
no, I've got a family.
That's also kind of your version of a cubicle.
Yeah.
So you got to make it your own.
Yes.
You got to
Yeah.
nest.
Personalize.
Yeah, stapler, your father's eyes, maybe some pictures.
Mostly just your father's eyes.
Right. But yeah, I don't know, he lands and it's basically like there's like people standing by him. We don't really know what's going on. It's just kind of like there is a deal about to happen. I mean, we have to assume it's a drug deal because of the name of the movie.
Cartel.
But immediately,
Cartel.
there's obvious bad guys like, all right, he's landing. I'm play by play what he's doing. Okay, he stopped. And then right when they're about to make a move, some guys pull up in a car, and it's DE agents and stuff like that. And they're like, hey, what's in the plane? And he's like, I don't know, medical supplies?
Supplies.
It came from, Juarez or wherever he came from.
Yeah, he came from South America and flew some medical supplies into Burbank, California.
Yep.
Because, okay,
Because he's not that bright.
he had to go get a load of medical supplies and bring them to Burbank, California. And he thought that was legit. So, yeah, they
He genuinely did that.
he
That's
did
the
that. He
best
was like,
part. He's
medical supplies.
"Why?"
Why are you harassing me?
Yeah.
I'm just a guy
This is medical heroin.
flying a plane. Yeah, because they were like, show us. He pulls out a box. It's got, the universal symbol for medical supplies on it.
And then it has the universal sack full of cocaine in it.
Yep.
Which, by the way, the agents actually pull out a vial and test it. Don't just immediately go, that's cocaine.
Yeah, they tested like actual cops, not like movie cops where you just
Yeah,
brush
they
your
just-
teeth with it and just
Which
go
is
ahead.
weird because
Just
everything
take a
else in this...
big ass
Yeah.
bump of it. Just,
Yeah.
Oh, this is
Oh, it's pure fucking coke, boss.
go.
Oh, shit, that's sweet and low. Yeah. But, I mean, it's just weird in this movie that they're going to go by, accurate drug testing methods.
Hey,
This is the movie
this guy
where it's
was committed to being accurate in all things.
like, right. Realism.
Yeah.
Okay, this is about the only thing in the entire movie that's
Right.
like scientifically accurate.
I don't know. There's some things about to happen.
That aren't scientifically
There
accurate.
No,
at
they
all.
would totally happen.
There are people that shrug off bullets. Multiple bullet
Yeah.
wounds.
Everyone shrugs
All
off
right,
bullets.
first
Yeah.
off, like, Don Stroud is hanging out in, like, I think it's supposed to be a Lamborghini, but it's not.
It's like a kit car.
Yeah,
It's one of those where
it's-
it's like, you got some fiberglass?
Yeah.
I took a shitty, like, 80s Pontiac Firebird and slapped some,
a
gull-wing
Fiero.
doors or something on
Yeah.
it, and it's kind of hideous. I mean, it looks cool at first. You're like, what the fuck is that?
It's like, whoa, this movie's got a budget. No, it didn't. They
Because like every time he hits a bump, it's like all the fiberglass is starting to fall off.
Yeah.
But he's sitting in that and kind of directing guys and like basically they're like the cops are there. We've got to get our stuff. Move in.
Yeah.
And so this dirt bike comes up. And it's got this like invisible machine gun on the front of it. It's just like shooting from the handlebars.
He's got it.
He's
has it?
holding it.
Yeah.
in his
It looked like it was
hand.
just shooting from the handlebars.
It's a little strange, but
Okay.
like they're taking
It's not very well shot. Yeah.
they're taking Chuck Taylor into custody. They're like, all right, you got drugs. You're coming with us.
He's like, "I'm just a pilot."
And
I was just holding it, man. My friends.
and as they're starting to put him in the car, that's when motorcycle stuntman rolls up and just starts shooting all the cops.
Right.
One cop was smart enough just to immediately jump into the driver's side of the
Yeah.
car. The other two dead.
Right.
Miles O'Keefe just.
But other cops
Jumps
show
out
up out of nowhere, and the ambulance, which was, I guess, what they were going to load all the drugs into,
of course.
pulls up, loads up all the drugs, and then, it, like as fast as they can, takes off.
Mm-hmm.
So you've got ambulance, or fake ambulance, driving off with like a couple cop cars chasing it, and like I think just one cop car chasing the dirt bike.
Well, the guy who got shot at is bound to determine that he's going to
yeah.
take out this dude on the bike.
Right.
And
Killed
he is
his
just
buddies.
nerdy desk cop. I mean, he is the least like the two that died were super flowing hair, mane, just action
were-
superstar looking guys.
they might have been loose cannons.
Yeah. Whereas this guy's just by the book, like, I'm going to chase this guy down because that's what cops do.
They murdered his friends.
So,
He was by the book.
like, whatever Miles O'Keefe is doing, they always cut to just a shot of the bike speeding away and the late model sedan chasing after it, which then ends in a weird jump.
Yeah, well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, this is where, like, okay, so testing the drugs was one thing, but this motorcycle just veers toward a very obvious ramp. Don't know why it's at. Okay,
It's set up on
all
the back of a truck.
So the launch one, okay, maybe they were loading some things into a truck
Yeah.
or something airporty. I don't
Lawnmower.
know why, but he launches. But then there's a landing ramp on the other side.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, what kind of Dukes of Hazzard shit is this? Because the car is also like, I can do this, and
Anything you can do, I can do better.
no, you can't, because he flies up.
Yes, I can.
And
Nope.
no, he can't. He
I can.
He goes headfirst into a fence first into the chain link fence that the bike cleared fine,
No,
and
I
just
can't.
bends this car in half.
Yeah.
Just fucks it up.
Yeah.
That was great.
And that's the end of that pursuit.
Yeah, he's done, and the bike's gotten away.
Right.
So the ambulance, I don't know. Like,
Well, those guys have spilled out, and like two of the guys, Miles O'Keefe is like he basically
Mazel tov?
hijacks another dude's plane. Like another dude's getting ready to taxi,
Oh, right,
he's just
right.
like, "Hey, buddy, out!" And he takes that plane, and the two guys jump onto the wings or the little, the
Support
things.
wings.
Yeah.
Support things.
Struts.
Sure.
So he keeps trying to take off to get them off the wings, and one dude just immediately is just like, "Nope, fuck this," and falls off. The other guy is super determined that he's going to kill Miles O'Keefe, which none of this makes any sense while they are so gung-ho to kill him, because they can just take their drugs and leave.
Yeah.
This,
And this
Miles
guy
O'Keefe
also
knew nothing about it.
Double cross them.
No.
Or anything. He
Yeah,
just got
they
caught.
somehow get the idea that he did that.
Yeah.
He's the pilot. He's seen them. He knows things.
Well, that's dumb, because
He's got
they
to
need
kill them.
pilots.
There's
So
a few
Yeah.
jump to conclusions. Well, there's a lot of jump to conclusions in this movie.
yeah, there
so
are.
anyway, they're flying, and it's just this is just an excuse for stunts. There's two guys, like
Yes.
the plane is taxiing, and it's obvious like okay, there's too much weight or something.
Yep.
Because like he's veering the plane, and one guy falls off and does a good stunt roll off into the dirt, and it's not really off the ground yet. The other guy, like it takes off, and he's still hanging on, so it's like okay, kind of stunt, a guy hanging on there, but then it's just cut to he's like all but in the plane
Right.
with him as it's up in the air. And they're fighting over a gun, and something gets shot, and basically he's just like leaking chemtrails all over the place. And
Yeah. But whatever makes the plane controllable is no
Right.
longer a thing, because the plane just starts air showing all over the place.
yeah, yes, they do air stunts like the
Yeah.
kill the engine and roll back down,
Right.
and all that kind of stuff. Yeah.
And Guy yells at Chuck Taylor. He's just like, if I die, you're dying too. So you better straighten out this plane.
He actually says,
Straighten
I
out
think he
and
says,
fly right.
I think he says, "Land this fucker,"
Yeah,
or "Land this
sure.
motherfucker."
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, well, stop fighting me.
If I die, you're dying
Yeah.
too. So he just does. Like it's like really no big deal. It's just like it just happens. Like, oh, the plane's on the ground. Okay, great.
Yeah.
And I don't know how, but like the ambulance basically gets away, but the cops arrest Miles O'Keefe. Oh,
Yes.
the ambulance.
However-
The ambulance might get away, but Don Stroud is basically joining the fight now and has started driving his stupid kit car.
Well, he was never there.
He wasn't there.
He was down the street.
He was down the street, but like he immediately hits a pedestrian for like no good reason.
Yeah, well,
because his
the-
first action is like, "Fuck yeah, I need cocaine." Yeah, like it's time to drive.
Well, the ambulance leads the cops away, and as they pass by, he's like, time to gun it. And as soon as he does, he hits the one pedestrian on the street, and another patrol car just happens to be going by, not related to this at all. And it's like, oh shit, we got to hit and run. Let's go get this guy. So
Yeah.
they're chasing him completely for reasons not.
I guess it was just distraction, so the ambulance gets away. I'm guessing is the motivation.
I don't think he had a plan. His plan
not
was just
really.
basically shove a bunch of cocaine in
Yeah,
his face
he was
and
high on
drive
coke.
fast.
Yeah.
That's
He's
the
high on
problem with
coke.
cocaine. Everything seems like a good idea.
He's high on coke, and
Especially more cocaine.
he thinks he's indestructible, which he proves in a second. He kind of is, because two more cop cars decide to barricade the road. You know, ass to ass in the middle of the road, and like he does this weird thing where he like 180s the car and starts going backwards and backs into the between the two cars, and I don't know what happens because just fucking fireball, like
Huge fire.
no reason, just
Yeah.
huge.
Like before we
He's
were
trying to stop, and he spins,
Yeah.
sort of loses control, and flies backwards into the fuel tanks of all of the vehicles. All
And
fuel tanks come together
Ever-
at once.
any vehicle ever
They
made.
merge, basically, is what you're
Not
saying.
just these three, like all the fuel
Yeah.
tanks of all the cars.
Correct. I'm going to have to find a new way home tonight. And then all of them explode.
Yeah,
Yes.
I hope you have an electric car because good luck.
Shit.
But he launches, like that car launches
Oh, yeah.
too.
Yeah,
Like,
that-
it goes flying
the
over.
fireball is
fucking
coming up in
great
slow
explosion.
motion,
Yeah.
and that car just suddenly comes barreling through it.
Yeah, like they've
Like
launched it out of
later.
a cannon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now here's what's great. This car lands and it's still on fire. Like the dummy is laying out the side of this burning wreck that is just launched 300 yards.
Yep.
And they go, "He better be dead," and like draw their guns on him. And then it's cut to the scene. It's like, well, okay, good knowing you, Don Stroud.
Yeah. You were crazy there for a
And
good 7 minutes.
Miles-
That was fun.
And again, this movie's like not wasting any time with anything you might possibly care about. It's like Miles O'Keefe's in jail.
Yeah.
They were taken away. He's immediately in jail.
Yep.
And this is the most corrupt goddamn jail in the world. But probably more importantly and kind of jarring is guess who's in the jail? Don Stroud without a goddamn scratch on him.
Yep. Unburned.
All his hair.
Like 2 cells down from Miles O'Keefe. Like just right there. They're out just hanging out in the same, ward. Just
It's like they shot this as the final shot of the movie, and they were like, nah. It's just too good to cut out.
Yeah.
Like, we made a fucking fireball. So, but we're not done with this movie. So
no.
No.
Yeah.
So
But
yeah,
They're in
he's-
prison.
Yeah, and his Super Coke has served him well because he's just like beating dudes up.
He
and-
still has it. He
Yeah.
has his own supply of cocaine.
he's
Well,
actually
yeah,
all right.
because
So
he's in it with the warden who is William Smith.
Yeah, I was gonna say he's actually like at first I thought the warden was smuggling coke in for him.
No.
he's selling coke to the warden. It's like how does that work?
Simple.
What is the supply chain?
He's just got all the coke and he's selling it out.
But before that, like let's talk about the little like gang
Fracas?
circle that's happening here.
Yes.
Because like there's a dude doing push-ups and he's like about to hit 100 and everyone's. Did you forget? Did you develop a drinking problem?
If it's not booze, I don't know how to drink it. This
Use your
strange-
mouth.
Do you want
Don't
a shot?
inhale.
Go throw a couple shots in there.
strange.
You're not driving home anyway. You got no car.
My car blew up. I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all right.
Please help.
So there's a guy in there and he's doing push-ups and he's about to hit 100.
Yes.
And like everyone is super jazzed about this.
Yep.
Like they're just cheering him on. And one guy is like this weird looking Mr. Bean dude is like off to the side. And he's just like, yeah, 96, 97, yeah. And then for whatever reason, well, basically because he's a coked up asshole.
Yes.
Don Stroud walks over and puts his foot on his back and like holds him down like at 99. Mm-hmm. He's
Yeah,
got 99 problems in the push-up anymore.
It's totally a $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase
Yeah.
move. It's just like, nope,
Yeah.
you're not going to make it. And everyone's like, aw. But
Yeah.
the Mr. Bean guy is super pissed
he's
off
just like,
about
you
it.
son of a bitch. Yeah.
You ruined the integrity of the sport.
and throws something at him, and he's just like, "Oh yeah." You're like, I mean, he's like 3 foot taller than this guy, and just throws him against the cell and just starts beating the fuck out of him. And Miles O'Keefe's just sitting in his cell, like he's like, I don't think he's like pulled out the mail yet, but he's like reading or just kind of sitting there chilling.
He's got a couple pictures of his family.
Is he? I don't think he was looking at him yet. I don't know. Maybe he was, but
Probably
it
wasn't.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
But like he comes out finally and stops the fight. He's like, all right, leave him alone. And Don Stroud's just like, oh yeah, you want to settle this? And we're like, oh yeah, they're gonna have a fight.
It's fucking on.
No, they immediately pull up a table and they're like, arm wrestle.
Yeah.
It's the strangest way to settle something in
Yeah.
a prison.
And Stroud is just coked out. He's just like, I'm going to fucking arm wrestle the shit out of you. Let's go. And Miles O'Keefe throughout this entire movie has just got this smug, stupid smirk on his face. Just like, well, I'm obviously not going to let that happen. Ugh. And so they just go through the whole arm wrestling motions of you're winning, now I'm winning. And everyone in the crowd is freaking out again. And, Don Stroud is just really going manic at this point and, loses.
Yeah.
Because eventually cocaine runs out.
Sure.
and then so like
Yeah, Miles O'Keefe's like, all right, cool. I guess this is settled.
This is settled. See ya. He goes back to his cell to start reading his mail, and then Don Stroud just sort of comes in and is like, hey, bro, what's up?
Yeah. I see that you beat me. Well, that means that we're basically, all these other chumps are worthless. Like, we need to go into business together.
Yeah.
And he's just like, nah, fuck off.
Yeah. He's like, oh, come on,
And he
man.
like
This would
grabs
be
his
great.
mail and he's like, oh yeah, check out your ladies and stuff. And he's like, yeah, you can give me back my stuff now.
Yeah.
And is this where like immediately he's just like, I'm going to threaten you? Like, when he's like,
Well-
I don't want to be in business with you? Because doesn't he
That
look
happens
at,
Well, he
twice.
reads the letter, and we basically get the information that yes, his sister's some kind of model, and
yeah,
his
that's right.
girlfriend.
Oh, that's right. It
is a
actually does.
photographer.
It actually does the.
Yeah.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. Meanwhile, outside
Pour
of
the
prison,
water over some
Yeah.
plexiglass in front of the camera.
His girlfriend is reading this like, it's so terrible without you. Remember when you weren't in jail and we used to do things, and here are the things we used to do.
Here's me. Here's your sister and your nephew. And
Here's us at a picnic. Here's us doing other things.
we were riding a horse.
Yeah, they do a lot
Look
of
at this
stuff.
horse. This horse is amazing.
Yeah.
But anyway, Don Stroud yanks the picture out of his hands, like, hey, what you got here? And yeah, and yeah, basically threatens him. He's like, you need to join up with me, or you're gonna pay, and all that.
Miles O'Keefe is basically like, get the fuck out of my cell
Yeah.
right now. Which then cut to like their workout room in the jail.
no, but the warden just comes in, like they start
Oh, right.
hitting each other,
Oh,
and
that's
the
right, they
warden
do.
immediately comes in and just like, yanks Don Stroud off of him and just like decks Miles O'Keefe.
Yeah. He just points at him like Elvis Wilde.
And that's like one of the only things he says in the movie. He's like, "Go to the rec room."
Yeah,
you know,
right.
The William Smith voice.
Yes. Which they do. They go to the rec room, which is basically a TV on a cart, one weight bench, and some tables.
Yeah. And it's not even a weight bench. It's like preacher bench is the name of it, where it's like just like all you can do is arm curls. That's
Yes.
all you can do. So it's actually pretty useless because
Yeah.
you know what? If you have a bar, you can do arm curls anyway.
Yep.
But yeah, that is the only piece of equipment in there. And then for some reason, a glass cabinet of something.
Jump ropes. They're kept in a glass cabinet.
Right. Always a good
for
idea.
freshness.
To lock up the jump ropes.
Well, why
In
do
case
they?
of emergency, break glass.
Why do they even have jump ropes in a prison? Isn't that like a problem with
So you can.
hanging?
That's
and
why they're
stuff?
locked up.
Oh, no. I'm just saying. Why do they even need jump ropes?
Some good behavior prisoners
Really?
could use a jump
Oh,
rope.
like if you're bad, you spend a night in the box, but if you're good, you can have a
You can
session
jump
of
rope.
double dutch.
You get 10 minutes of jump
Okay. All right.
yeah. So
Eat your vegetables and you can jump rope tomorrow.
How else are they going to save the prison rec center? But with the good double Dutch tournament that they win.
Yeah, the truth is revealed.
So basically, Miles O'Keefe has taken his mail into the rec room. He's going to sit there and read it. And Don Stroud walks up to him. He's like, "Hey, bro, what's going on?" Again, he's like, "Hey, maybe we got off on the wrong foot, man. Why don't you come work for me and I won't fuck up your family and everything?" He's like, "Nah, I don't think I'm going to do that." And he's like, "I'm going to fuck up your family." And they just start fighting again. Bust up the rec room.
Yep.
Goes into the glass cabinet with all the jump ropes.
Yep. And he has pulled a knife on
Yes. Oh yeah.
O'Keefe as well.
Yeah. He has everything. I don't. Why is he?
Why is he
How
even
is he
stay
even
there?
still in jail?
Well, he actually
Like, he
explained-
has everything.
He kind of. This was when he was offering him like, "I can get you out of jail. Why don't you just come work for me, and in a month you'll be out." He's like, "I don't have to be here. I'm here because of you. I'm trying to recruit you," which was just the dumbest thing. Like,
Yeah.
the Burbank airport had thousands of planes. Just go get one of these other guys to smuggle your drugs into Burbank.
Well, but then he says, like, you took all our stuff. Where is it? And he's like,
Yeah.
dude.
It's like, I don't know. I'm in here with you.
Yeah, he's like, I'm an idiot. I didn't
Yeah.
even know that shit was on the plane. How am I supposed to? No.
Yeah. He's like, whatever. You stole our drugs, so
Yeah.
we're gonna get out of here, and you're gonna fly for us and give me back my drugs. He's like, nah. And then they bust up the rec room.
Yeah. From there,
The end.
yeah. From there, that's basically when he's like, all right, well, I guess you guys go after their family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because, yeah, then there's a lot of unpleasantness as far as the family goes, where they've gotten home from a photo shoot where his sister has made like every 80s stock photo image you've ever seen of a woman next to a computer or anything.
Yeah. Advertising all
There's
the
a
products.
montage of like her doing all that and then like sitting on a motorcycle at the end.
No, it's like a hard cut. Like it's just like, look, ramen noodles.
Yeah.
Look, cooking oil. Look, I'm in a bikini on a Harley.
Yeah.
It's
Then
like,
all of a sudden it's
what?
like, oh,
Don't forget the string beans.
Yeah.
And
yeah. Just every product possible. And then all of a sudden it's sexy shoot on motorcycle. And yeah. So they're coming home from that.
No, not before she's like something like, "Oh, I got a date tonight," and they're like, "What? Really? With who?" Or something like. She's like, "My son." It's like, this is weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, she describes it as a hot date.
Yeah,
Hot date.
I got a hot date
Hot
tonight.
date.
With my son.
My son. Okay. So okay, we can get through this part
All right.
real quick. What happens is like they get home to their palatial estate wherever and little kids running around. Wee, there's a bike in the house. I'm going to ride it. It's like, no, stop. Go color Billy or whatever.
Tommy. Tommy. His name was Tommy.
Tommy. Okay.
Billy.
So they're in the house for maybe 30 seconds when all of a sudden a station wagon just plows right through their living room.
A key from Action USA.
Oh, okay.
They did that. They
Okay.
drove a car. Well, they went all the way through the house, though.
Okay. No, this
And then the house blew up.
Yes. All of those things did happen in
You
Action
hate
USA.
it when you're enjoying a nice, pleasant afternoon and a station wagon plows through the front of your house.
It's a bummer. Yeah, but then, dudes pile out. One dude who's like 65 is super amped up during this entire scene. Like he is busting through windows and breaking doors down. I mean, this guy is Superman, super Jack LaLanne man, just 95-year-old action
Yeah.
superstar. The rest of this scene basically goes like this. Sister ends up dead. kid you think ends up dead, maybe isn't dead. The girlfriend is shot once, maybe twice,
Yes.
3 times, lady.
but she's kind of fine. And outside, while they all try to get away, realizing that it's going to be hard to get their station wagon out of the house, and then takes robot mental pictures of all of the bad guys.
I guess.
That's
Photographic
There
memory.
is-
She's a photographer.
No, there's actual
There are
physical photographs later.
there are freeze frames and
Yeah.
sounds.
Yeah, someone is taking photographs, but they keep cutting back to the injured girlfriend on the ground, like, oh, not taking any pictures. Whatever. So,
I don't know, man.
anyway, that's
It is not pleasant.
no. It's we're leaving a lot of stuff out because
Something
it's a terrible.
we try
scene.
to avoid in all our movies
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah.
You can figure out what it is.
Yes. So basically cut to Miles O'Keefe in jail, grabbing onto the bars and just going, no! And then cut to the cemetery where the girlfriend goes
Did
to
you
look at the...
specifically say the sister is killed? Like, all the way? Like, I mean, I missed part of it. I was tuning out of all of that.
Dead, yes.
They-
Yes.
He put several
He
bullets
aims
into
the gun
her.
directly
And
at
it's-
her, and
Yeah, I mean, like, they are, like, threatening to kill the kid. Like,
Right.
and it's implied that they do.
Yes.
And then he's, like, pretending to be dead, which is works with bears, but not, like, these guys. I don't know what he was doing.
Yes. Works with bears. But it kind of worked with them, too.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
But the girlfriend who got shot twice shrugs it off.
She's
straight
fine.
up.
yeah.
Just like Don Stroud when he got thrown to the ground in the rec room,
Mm-hmm.
little crazy guy fucking stabbed him in the legs and butt like 4 or 5 times.
Right.
No effect.
No.
Well, for the first 45 seconds it did, because he would not stop screaming.
Oh yeah, he's doing that.
While William Smith is dragging him out. Like, come on, you're fine. Shake it off. We're going to put some dirt on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
If you can't see it happening to you, it has no permanent effect.
That's true. It's just like, what is that? Oh, I guess, well, okay, it's fine now.
Oh, it's a searing pain. I guess
Rub some cocaine on it. You'll be fine.
that's probably
That
that's probably
Actually, is
That's true.
highly likely what he did.
Yeah. So, Miles
But yeah.
O'Keefe, angry.
Yes,
Yeah.
very much so.
But no time for immediate revenging because the next thing is a press helicopter flying over the prison.
Yes.
And the guards are
Is-
like, hey, is there supposed to be a press helicopter here? What's going on?
Yeah. Is it news time?
And then it goes away. And they're like, huh, well, that was weird.
Film at 11.
the helicopter sneaks away.
It does. And then sneaks back up over a mountain. Like, hey, still here. And then
Guess
just starts
what?
murdering everyone
I brought a machine gun
out in the yard.
Yay.
Just guards, prisoners, anyone who's out in the yard.
Yeah, these bullets apparently are the effective bullets.
Yes.
That kill people.
If you shoot a gun out of a helicopter, it will result in grievous bodily injury.
They're hella stealthy.
Healthy.
So it's prison break time, and guards are either closing or opening all the doors at this point. It's just like, seal the doors, but they're opening everything and running
Yeah.
around. And
And basically, there's the one guy who's just going through like he's going straight for wherever Don Stroud is.
yeah, guy looks like a snake.
Yeah, snaky guy
Yeah, snake guy.
who was also the one who killed the sister.
Yes.
Yeah, but yeah, and he's going through and he's putting C4 on doors and blowing them up. And there's a point where there's 2 cops that run at him, and he kills the one on the right, and then the one on the left's like, "Hey, man!"
Yeah.
And then he steps in the light, and it's, of course,
William Smith, yeah.
again. And he doesn't say anything.
No.
He's just like, he just kind of points a direction he needs
They
to
actually
go.
thumbs up and is like,
Yeah.
that way.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
that
It
way.
does, just,
Yeah, it's so weird. It's like, did they just not want him to talk? Like, I know he has a weird voice, but
Maybe he was having voice troubles.
yeah, maybe he was.
Because when he did speak, it did not sound good.
No, but it's never sounded good.
Yeah.
I mean, so maybe he has good and bad days of his raspy
Yeah,
voice.
eventually
but
he had the... Did he ever get the voice
You
box
need to
thing?
go
Yeah,
that
I was about to
way.
say.
maybe he might need it. Apologies if he's listening.
Yeah.
So,
Is he alive?
yes,
Yes?
still working.
Really?
Yes.
Nobody tweet him.
well, does he have some modern pieces we can see if he talks in?
Yeah, he does.
Okay. Does he talk like a normal?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
We can see.
Oh, I thought.
I just want to see where the gravel road takes us.
Okay,
Right.
understood. The gravel road.
That's his.
Yeah, you see what I
that's
did
his
there?
Biopic.
Yeah.
Gravel.
Yeah.
I would watch that.
So, God damn it. So they get Don Stroud out by blowing a little hole in the wall, and getting him through there, and then there's a brief car chase where they pile a bunch of dudes into a car, and then 2 police jeeps take off after them in a kind of slow car chase that doesn't really go anywhere. The car drops off Don Stroud at another car. He gets in, and then 30 seconds later, that car explodes. So,
and they have the shot of the one cop just going, "Oh, he's dead."
yeah, the Jeep cop is like, "Well, he's clearly dead. So
Totally dead.
Game over. Let's all go back to base."
Because he says, "Leave the other guys. He's in that car."
Yeah, they're just going after
Despite
him.
having a bunch of cop jeeps running around,
Yeah,
Omega
forget that.
Cop style.
Yeah.
They don't care.
No.
They're like, "No, stay on him."
Yeah. And then it's basically like Miles O'Keefe learns that because that dude died, there's no way to get... His girlfriend comes and visits him. Now, this is all relatively...
Which is like...
recently after her being shot a couple times.
Yeah, which is our reaction was the same as when we saw Don Stroud in the prison. We're like, wait, she's... All right, I guess she's fine.
Yeah, she's fine.
Yeah.
Well, she's just bouncing around like, wee!
She's all glammed up and just like... apparently she's been doing detective work. She's been following them around and checking their schedules and whatever they're doing.
Yeah.
But basically tells him, you're never getting out of here because he died and therefore there's no way to get him to confess that you weren't in on it. So, oh well. The district attorney says, nah.
Yeah. He said he's still working on the appeal.
Yeah.
But you're just going to be patient.
Yeah.
It's taking a while.
Yeah. So
and he's like, nah, fuck that.
I'll take care of this. And so he is filed through a metal grate that is in his cell, while his cellmate is watching him do this.
Who we've seen throughout.
Yeah, this guy's
the prison
always been
part.
around.
And he's always kind of given this knowing look like, I kind of like this guy.
Yeah. Yeah, this guy's got
But
moxie.
but I don't think he ever says anything.
No, he doesn't. He's quiet the entire time, just
But
nodding.
yeah, he's pretending to snore while he kind of peeks the eye open and watches him. All right.
watches him like cut through the grate. He goes through the grate, and pulls like a cabinet over it, so it looks like he's still there. And he's just hiding under his blanket, like, like I just saw something cool. So yeah, this begins a weird sneaking out of jail sequence where basically as long as Miles O'Keefe stays out of a spotlight, he won't get caught. And so he just avoids the spotlight and sneaks around.
Yeah. Haven't you played Metal Gear?
Yeah. So he has all these tools with him. He's got ropes and wire cutters and all these things.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to get that shit in prison.
Absolutely.
At least this prison.
Right, because he went down to the prison basement to get all of his gear, his ropes and stuff, and then comes back to the top of the prison to scale down. I don't know. Loses a shoe, which
Yeah,
is found
on the
by the
wrong side
prison
of the fence.
dog.
Yeah.
And he's just like, oh, well, I guess I got to leave the shoe.
Yeah, I have plenty.
Yeah. He's Chuck Taylor. So he gets over one wall and gets up to a chain link fence and starts cutting through it. And then all of a sudden the dog is there with his shoe. And he's like, oh, shit. Can I have that?
Nice dog?
Yeah. And the dog's
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can totally have this.
Big ass German Shepherd
Yeah.
canine unit.
Dog's awesome.
Yeah.
It just gives him the shoe and he's like, thanks. And the dog's just like, see ya. And he
He
runs
didn't-
off.
He didn't have any drugs.
No.
The dog didn't care
The
about
dog was trained to look for
I
drugs.
believe in your quest. Avenge your family.
You can tell by your scent you were
Yeah.
innocent.
You were a good man. Go.
You're
Be
innocent.
Be free.
I get it.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, he's out because right basically on the other side of the wall is his girlfriend in a sweet Jeep
Yep.
waiting for him. And the biggest goddamn shoulder pads I have ever seen on a person.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, she might as well have been playing linebacker for somebody, but God, and immediately she's just like,
Hey!
well, yeah, but she's
How are you?
immediately wet blankets everything. She's just like, we're going to Mexico now, right? And he's like, nah, I got one thing I need to do. And she's like, no, no.
Are you going to avenge your sister's death?
Avenging
Really?
doesn't get anyone anywhere. And he's like, oh.
She did not fully support his avenging.
No, she did not.
Yeah. So they go. Where do they? They go to her photo lab or whatever, her studio.
Yes. because he has apparently guns stashed there, or supplies or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, no, they fly there
That's right.
because they go and steal his plane.
They have a whole convoluted thing. They've left her car there and somehow have the plane there too, right outside the prison. And he rigs her Jeep to flash the lights in 7 hours.
Right. He's got a timer that
Or
he
turn the
installs.
lights on after 7 hours
Yeah.
so they can land the plane back there. We don't know why. at
Well,
this
we don't
point.
even know that yet. He's just say I got a timer on the lights.
Yeah.
And it's like, what is he going to just let someone know that the plane is gone or whatever? But no, it's just
It's a convoluted thing. It'll come up a little bit.
yeah. We didn't know what it meant at that point. But so they take off, land somewhere else, which is where her studio is.
Yeah.
And they go in and get some stuff.
And she's like, well, I still don't believe in this, but, I can go. I can help. And he's like, no, I got to do this myself.
He's like, no, you're not
I've
coming.
got the guns. I got all this stuff. I'm going to go do this. She's like, I can help. No.
Yeah.
No. All right. See you later. And she gets all angry and crushes a rose like you do. And then,
She has a pretty
then-
good temper tantrum of just why.
well, that's right. She kicks the,
She kicks the desk really hard and then crushes a rose like, yeah. Yeah. But then he goes off to the parking garage that she's been staking out forever. Because she knows every night at midnight, they all meet up there to do
Yep.
something. And so he goes and finds out what it is, which is basically distributing all the drugs inside of
drug
sporting
exchange.
goods.
yeah, basically he just waits till they're all gone except for two guys.
Yeah.
And then just stalks them through the parking lot. Mm-hmm. And
Shoots one in the foot, massacres this guy's foot. This guy will never walk again.
Yep.
Haha. This guy's also, though,
Yeah, just
I should
like,
say, 5 minutes 5 minutes earlier, has been just loading his face with cocaine.
true.
So
So much so, the other guy, when he comes up, he smacks his hand, and there's like just this dust that goes everywhere.
He's like, focus.
He's like, quit wasting all the coke.
We could have dropped it to. It's not playtime.
And yeah, he wastes all the coke.
Yeah, just flies everywhere. So good job, guy. So yeah, he shoots that guy in the foot. The other guy comes over like, hey, what? And this leads to kind of a weird, like, hop in a car, drive around the parking garage a little bit. Lots of shots fired. Lady doesn't hear any of these shots being fired.
There are shots being fired, and a car crashes into another car.
Yeah.
20 feet from her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna get in my hatchback, and now everything's good." Ooh,
And then, bad guy just picks her up from behind and moves her out of the way. And she's like, woo!
She's like Mrs. Magoo or something. She's like, wait, what was? Oh my goodness!
So
good heavens!
Miles O'Keefe jumps on the hood, T.J. Hooker style, and and there's some
On
pretty
the roof.
yeah
Yeah.
the roof of the car, both facing out, like facing front.
Yep.
So there's some struggling and a good like punch right through.
Oh, there's a good like just curve arm.
Yeah.
just punch like I don't know. It just probably made zero contact, but it's hilarious looking.
It looks pretty good. It's like if you were gonna punch that guy, that's how you would do it.
Yeah.
So they end up close to a wall,
They somehow go up to the top. I'd never understand why people go up on in a parking garage.
driving around it and getting up to the top, and they hit. He's like, I'm gonna hit this wall and fling him over, which happens. But dude also comes. The driver comes flying out through the windshield, and also somehow ends up over the rail of the top of this parking garage.
They are
So-
dangling on the edge.
yes, both of them side by side, fighting each other.
Yeah. I do love how that plays out. Just the way the second guy goes through the windshield. Like,
Yes.
a few seconds after.
Yes,
O'Keefe
and then
goes
up a
over
little bit and over the edge of this. It's like, huh?
He
What?
kind of scrambles over the edge a little bit, like, "Oh, hey, buddy, where'd you go? Come back! Oh, I want to. Yeah, I had something to tell you. Wait. Let me. Okay. Just-
Yeah. And they fight and struggle, and eventually Miles O'Keefe punches that guy off the building.
But right about the same time, the guy who's been shot in the ankle just shows up.
Yeah.
And he's like trying to help the his friend
Yes.
up and doesn't.
Right.
But he punches him down and he does like a nesty plunge off the side of this thing.
Right.
But then like I guess he's like trying to push Miles O'Keefe off, but ends up just kind of helping him up.
He just
He
pulls
basically
him
just
back
gives
over.
him some arms and he's like, "Oh, okay, I'll climb up you."
Yeah, thanks.
And he fights for a second, and basically he just goes like, "Enjoy your flight," and then just picks him up like over his head, like Sting style, and just launches him off the
Yep.
off the side of this thing too.
Yep.
And this is done.
Yeah.
Like this whole adventure is
Parking
done now.
garage thing is done. So.
Acknowledge the stinger.
Yeah, you did. I know. I did good this weekend.
Yeah, you did. You did great. Moving on.
Yeah.
So this leads to Sports Kingdom.
Yeah, I think violent cut to Sports Kingdom, and suddenly Donna, the girlfriend, is now abducted and being menaced by Don Stroud and company.
Yeah, but before that,
reasoning, she's just there.
Miles O'Keefe has shown up there because that's where the sporting goods were labeled or whatever, with the drugs inside, and so he goes there, and there's like kickboxing going on, and then the kickboxers leave, and Miles O'Keefe is sort of stealthing through the building. But yeah, that's when like the bad guys are menacing the girl.
Oh yeah,
like who'd you show the photos to? It's
Again.
like, wait, your mental photos? Which photos are you talking about? But apparently they're talking about the ones that she took in her brain. I don't know. We never see them, but who the hell knows what's happening here?
Yeah, I mean, okay.
Maybe she said she had photographs.
No, he was actually looking at it. Like,
he had
physical
he had
okay.
photographs.
And I'm like, okay, so there's things later in the movie that like there may have been another party, helping here, but at the same time, why the fuck was that party not in stopping all of the bad things?
Right.
So
they are in like a just a storeroom of some kind, and there's a robot in there.
There's a mannequin that has Cylon eyes for some reason.
Yeah.
It's just
it's probably like a kickboxing sparring dummy or something, but why it needs a cool robo visor, I don't know, but it's there, and we're like, ooh, this movie just got really cool.
And they totally ignore it.
They do. They shouldn't have.
Lame. Movie sucks.
So she's tied to a chair, and there's giant, oily, bald kickboxing man
with head
tattoo, with tiny shorts on that say kickboxing on them. And
I like my shorts to claim what I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's when Don
William Stroud had something that said cocaine along the ass. And juicy.
Yes.
Pink.
Juicy cocaine.
Juicy cocaine. It's much better than couture.
Yes.
Yes. So, that's basically when Don Stroud barges in, like, haha, see, I'm alive, you guys. This was my plan all along and things. And Miles O'Keefe is in there. And it's just a big mess of a scene. Henchmen just keep coming in and getting in the way, and there's a random girl there in lingerie for no reason who ends up getting shot by one of her own dudes, and it's just a mess. This whole thing is a mess, but it just serves for Don Stroud to reveal the entire plan to Miles O'Keefe.
Yeah.
Like, I switched cars with a guy, and then I gave him this box, and he pushed this button, and the car exploded and stuff, and it's just like, okay, why are you telling him any of this? And then he just proceeds to
just wanted to show him how awesome he is.
Talking about the cocaine and how they're going to go get more of it and stuff. I don't know.
There's a lot of this in this movie of guys just being bad for the sake of being bad.
Yeah, there's not a lot of well, it's the cocaine.
Yeah,
they're all really amped up on cocaine, and they're not happy cocaine users. They get angry when they use their cocaine. So
I'm sure there was one quiet coke user.
How did they actually
somewhere
escape?
There's no quiet coke user anywhere.
No, I'm sure there was one guy who's just like, he's like, man, it levels me out.
I mean, they escape, right? I mean, Miles O'Keefe and Donna.
Yeah,
I don't know how.
He gets the gun somehow and starts shooting, and that's when and Don Stroud's like, all right, fuck it,
yeah, late.
Don't feel like getting shot.
Yeah, not on my agenda today.
Yeah. But anyway, like he gets away, they get away, and basically are back in the plane, and it's like, again, it's sort of like cut to we're flying in the plane.
They cause a commotion, and then you hear like police sirens and stuff. And,
then they go, we gotta go.
And yeah, they go, and she's like, you did it. It's like, yeah, the cops got him. It's great, and blah, blah, blah.
Well, they're flying. It's just like all of a sudden, like, oh, they're back in the plane, and
yeah, I know,
flying.
but they've gotten the progress report of the cops are there. They've taken care of business. Everything's going to be fine.
Right.
And she's like, we can go to Mexico now, right? And he's like, nah.
Nah, we don't have enough gas.
We don't have any gas, actually. We're kind of fucked here.
We're kind of crashing. Yeah, where are those lights?
Yeah.
And the whole plan was, like, he rigged this car for the lights to go off, and I guess it didn't go off. He set the timer slightly wrong, because they finally go on, and he's like, oh, Christ, we can land, great.
Yeah.
We're out of gas. And as they land the plane, he's like, well, we're going to get more gas. We're going to get out of here. We're going to take the car, and we're going to Mexico, right? He's like, I can't do that.
Nah, I got to go back to jail.
putting back on his prison clothes.
Yep.
He's about to break back into jail.
Yes.
Breaking Bad, back into jail.
Right.
It's
Breaking Bad idea.
Yeah.
Well, he's got more work to do.
Huh?
He's got more work to do.
And in the middle of the night, also, William Smith has snuck in and shot his fake body
Yes.
double
Right.
thing.
Yeah.
Put
And
2 in him.
And now I don't think we really made mention of his cellmate.
No, we did.
Oh, okay.
He
yeah.
watched him sneak out.
Yeah, he
and
watched
was
him sneak out. And
Super
watched him,
giggly about it.
Watched him get the. I mean, just kind of like peeked over at the thing getting shot and kind of went hee hee and
Yeah.
went back to sleep.
Well, he's comically tucked into his blanket, like, I'm super sleeping, you guys. You can't see me. And then it's like every time something
Aw.
happens, he's like,
Look
I
at-
can see you.
Look at the little feller.
Yeah.
he's all tuckered out.
So he sees William Smith, stand out and put 2 in the dummy.
Mm-hmm.
And William Smith's like, fuck yeah, I just killed that guy. And then he leaves. And he's still just peeking out of his blanket like,
Yeah, and now now Miles O'Keefe has broke back in.
Yeah.
We don't get to see the whole progress of this again. It's just
Yeah.
it's understood he did it.
Yep.
Yeah,
And
he
he's
looks
like-
at the head of the mannequin or whatever that was in the bed. He's like, oh,
Yeah, I guess
well, good thing I wasn't here.
Some bullets came in here.
Yeah.
Wow.
And that's when his cellmate finally is like, mission accomplished. And he's just like,
He doesn't say anything.
No.
Doesn't even acknowledge him.
and then it's just like cut to the next day. They're watching TV.
Yeah.
and it's basically like, we're here with all of the relevant information. All of the people here. There was a double cross. And
Cartel actually stole that dude's
Cartel
drugs.
actually never sent some like 300 pounds
Yeah.
of drugs. So
So-
basically his charges are clear.
Guy,
and
if you're
everything.
watching this in prison,
Yeah.
you're going to be free to go soon.
If you're sitting there with a friend, your cellmate, and you're watching this on a TV on a cart in a shitty rec room.
Yep. You're getting out of there, son.
Justice works so fast
Yeah.
in this world.
Because like he's immediately like walk out of the prison like his arm around her and
Yeah.
she's
I
like,
love how it was going to take months for his appeal to
Yeah.
go through, but they're like, oh, no,
Nope.
we're good.
Say new evidence.
Hey, man.
Get the hell out.
There's a bunch of guys in prison who actually didn't do anything who are watching that like, fuck this movie, man. Just fuck it.
Exactly.
They just
They're watching
so
Cartel in
pissed.
prison.
no, I think I thought you meant the other guys in the prison
guy
with
in
him.
1991
Yeah,
watching
okay,
Cartel.
fine,
He's
yes.
like, okay, it finally came on video. They're finally bringing it in.
I thought you
And
meant
he's
the
just like-
fictional guys in this jail. They're like,
no,
fuck
but-
this guy, stab.
Yeah. No, I'm talking about real life jail,
okay.
where there's guys
They
who
get
are
the new
just-
tapes every
Right.
day. It's like,
There's guys who are like my dad. They're like, this is so unrealistic. It would never get out that
Yeah.
quick. Never.
I mean, even with the new evidence, there would have to be some
Yeah,
inquests.
they still have to do a hearing.
checking and
months.
everything. Yeah.
This is not believable.
It's like the pothead who knows more drug laws than
Yeah.
the cops. Like
Yeah.
all these guys are like, I've been studying my law degree. And that would not clear him.
Look, I read every single page, then I rolled it up and smoked it. But look, I read it first, okay?
Yep.
But yeah,
Yeah.
he's out.
He's
Yeah,
out, just
he's free.
immediately out.
Yeah.
And they're walking through the parking lot, about to get in the sweet Jeep and drive off into the sunset, and you see kickboxer like dude sit up out of a car and like put a silencer on a gun. Is
Yeah.
like menacing, and
And
Good old kickboxer,
yeah, and he's
dude.
like talking about, oh, we're going to spend the whole day together. It's going to be great.
Yeah.
We got nothing to worry about.
yeah, we're gonna
First, let's go to the graveyard.
let me fuck this entire day's mood up.
Yep.
By going to mourn my dead sister.
I want to see my dead sister's grave. That's the first thing I want to do when
Yeah,
I get out
all
of
right.
prison for realsies.
Yeah, let's. The guy hasn't had any conjugal visits.
No, apparently not.
It's clear he hasn't.
No. Mm-hmm. But he also didn't have any interest when he broke out of jail either.
Yeah, despite saying he had a few hours before they left.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They like made out for half a second. He's like, I only have a couple hours. Might as well just not do it at all.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get an early start on my revenging. I got to be up early, so.
But I guess that's how
let me
fueled by
take the old
revenge he is.
sketch here.
Yeah.
Revenge,
It's
revenge,
6:30,
revenge,
wake up.
tea, revenge, lunch, revenge, quick shower, afternoon tea,
But
revenge,
yeah,
revenge.
but as far as he was concerned, the revenging was already over.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
'Cause he
Everything
thought Don Stroud got busted and everybody was good.
thought everything was fine.
But nope.
They're mourning at the grave, and
yeah,
then all
let's
of a sudden
mourn
it's,
at a grave and-
guns at the back of that. Now, this movie, we should have mentioned, like, this movie loves ADR or Foleyed footsteps.
Yep.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
like they were like, every single footstep must be Foleyed.
Yep.
Get that in there.
Clack, clack,
And
clack.
so, like, we as the audience, not only is the camera moving towards them, but we're like,
Yeah. All the
in the
crunching.
grass, and it's like, did you really not hear this guy walking up on you?
No, they didn't.
But they didn't, because
Yeah. And you'd think they would because he's Don Stroud and he's high on coke again.
Yeah,
So he probably
he's a
couldn't be quiet while he's sneaking up.
Big, lumbering, sweaty man.
Be like, hey, mourners! Knock it off!
I'm coming.
We got business to discuss.
Cocaine. yeah. So yeah, he commandeers their Jeep, makes
Sweet
them
Jeep.
drive to, I don't know, the shittiest shipyards I've ever seen. Just rust land, basically.
Yep.
need a tetanus shot just watching the scene, but throws him in a boat. It's like, come on, getting in this boat.
Mm-hmm.
It's a pretty sweet boat. Stocked with all the products that the model lady had been advertising an hour earlier, by the way. Snake Man is there in a ridiculous suit. Ties him up.
Man, that suit. I got to get me one of them.
Do you?
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't have to because they're
Okay.
free.
Yeah. Well, he ties her up pretty good, and then he goes to tie up Mr. Chuck Taylor. Chuck Taylor's not having any of it. He just explodes out of it, and basically kills Max or Snake Man, whatever his name was.
Kills Mac's dad.
Yeah, right. So that guy's dead, and he's just like, "I'm gonna go get Don Stroud. See ya."
Yeah, not a particularly satisfying death for
No.
that guy.
By the way, they've set a bomb with a timer. They both know this.
Like an egg timer. Like,
Yeah.
It's like a kitchen time. Just
Yeah. And so he gets free and is like, I'm going to go get Don Stroud. Bye. And bails. Now, she is still tied up with this thing counting down.
Yeah,
The
he
boat is going to
couldn't take
explode.
2 seconds to untie her and be like, all right, get
Yeah,
off the boat
no.
at your leisure. But,
Yeah. So he and Don Stroud fight on the boat, off the boat, and then run through the shipyard. It's not a really great fight. It's a bunch of Don Stroud just kind of waving things at Miles O'Keefe, and Miles O'Keefe is just like, you're not going to hit me. And then eventually he gets Don Stroud all tied up and puts him on a hook. Or he ties him up with his belt.
you shouldn't put me on a hook, Miles O'Keefe.
Yeah, but the way they shot that scene when he's like, he gets Don Stroud on the ground and he just rips his belt out. And we're like,
oh no.
he's like, he's going to piss on him. Just
Or
gonna
worse.
piss all over
You are now my
guy.
territory. I'm going to pee all over you. Yeah.
But no, he ties up his legs and then tosses him on the hook and then lifts the hook up into the air.
Yeah. Now, he keeps looking over at the boat and notices that the boat is starting to move away. And he's like, well, I better keep doing this to Don Stroud first. So,
I got important revenging to do.
yeah. So
Don
he makes...
Stroud's gotten away enough times.
Yeah, so he really wants to make sure he's got this. So he gets him raised up on this hook out of the way, and then's like, maybe I'll go save my girl. Takes his jacket off, runs toward the water, and I'll admit this is pretty impressive because he runs, as his stuntman runs, jumps in the water, and as he takes a flying leap, the boat in the background explodes.
Good
So,
timing.
Yeah. Like, you can't do that more than once. It's like you've
Nope.
got
Your
one
boat's
chance.
done.
It's like they had to rig his shoes so that when they stopped having contact with the dock, the boat would blow up.
There's a little switch in the plank at the end.
Yeah, he hits that, boat goes.
Like he air bombs.
And he pops out of the water like, damn. Well, shit. I didn't plan this right. I fucked up. I guess I'll just go back.
Yeah, but he gets out of the water and
Well, he gets up to the dock, and that's when Kickboxing Man is there
That's
and
right.
pulls him out. Like, I'm the only
I'm here
one
to
left,
save you from
but
the water.
instead of just running away and starting my life anew, I'm going to take revenge on you. So he's dragging him over and is going to kill him.
yeah, and he pulls a gun, has it against his gut. You
Yeah.
hear bang,
Yeah.
and the guy falls down.
Like, well, who shot him?
And then cut to his prison inmate, suddenly in a suit
In a suit.
with the dog next to him,
Yeah.
holding a gun, and then cut to
Girlfriend.
soaking wet girlfriend
Also with a gun.
with a gun.
Yeah.
And
He was
like,
double
"Oh,
saved
Yes.
at the exact same moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Their guns were also rigged to his shoes, apparently.
Yeah.
But
So
yeah.
she comes over. It's like, well, thanks a lot for saving me. You jerk. And then he goes and talks to the guy, and the guy's like, well, I guess I should introduce myself. I'm blah, blah, blah from the DEA. And like basically been in the jail with this guy for a year.
Yeah. He's like, I knew what you were up to.
Yeah.
Oh, here's that file.
Yeah, he pulls out the file and hands it to him. Like, here, you want a
The
souvenir?
great thing is, I noticed it's not even a file. It's the blade you would get off of like a.
It's a
of
reciprocal saw blade.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's a weird way to cut your way out of prison. Like, I think a file might actually be better.
Yeah.
No,
But
man,
I
saws
love
all.
I love that
Saws
he's
all.
a government agent who's just like, yeah, we knew what you were up to. We knew you were innocent
Yeah.
and all that. And he's like,
We knew you might have died at any time.
And he's not like, then why the fuck didn't you get me out of prison?
He's just like, well, thanks.
Just
Cool.
like,
Thanks, bro.
All right, yeah.
Also, meet my dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Rambo
Anyone-
von
Rambo-
Rambo von Dunkelbarger. which is the dog's actual name.
Yeah.
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 As we see in the credits.
And the dog's like, hey, I see I was on your side. I brought you your shoe. I had to break my cover. Bring you your shoe. Help you along.
That dog broke kayfabe.
Yeah. So his jailmate guy says, well, it's a shame he's going to get out on parole in 3 months. Talking about Don Stroud, who's just dangling way up in the air at this point, just going, Max. Like trying to pathetically call one of his henchmen. And Miles O'Keefe is like, nah.
Fuck that.
Yeah. Goes over to the crane, hits the lowering switch, which doesn't drop him like you should. I mean, they should have just dropped a dummy off this thing, but it just slowly and then gradually faster drops him towards the ground. And then as you hear it hit the ground, cut to black.
And credits.
Credits. Movie over.
Yep.
Huh.
And then it plays the hot jam from the opening credits.
Yep.
Because they only had money for one song.
Only one hot jam.
Only one jam.
Yeah. Still a pretty good song.
So,
The guy sings the hell out of it.
He does. And there's some sexy sax.
where do we rate it? Stargrove?
I kind of want to say yes because it was describing him flying at the beginning of that movie, everything he was doing.
I would allow Stargrove.
Yeah. It's
All right.
I'll allow
It's been a while.
Yeah, I'll allow
He's
it.
flying blind.
Yeah.
He was flying blind.
He had no co-pilot.
Sure.
Jesus had forsaken him.
Yes. He was not there to take the wheel.
No.
Rambo von Dunkelbarger does have an IMDb page, but he's not credited in this movie on IMDb.
What else
Well,
was he
get
in?
on that,
He was on
crowdsource.
Down the Drain
Ah.
as Police Canine.
Good use.
Typecast.
Yeah. Yeah. I'll rate it.
All right.
I'm going to give it 2 jocks. It is a big dumb movie. Not big. I mean,
Small dumb
Big
movie.
dumb as in like super dumb. Scenes just kind of jump from one moment in time to another without much reason happening. It kind of blows its load early. Like the 15 minutes of stunt spectacular at the beginning led me to believe that, oh man, when he gets out to revenge, the shit is on. And it's so timid. It's just like, this is dumb.
And at that point, I was like, man, I'm getting an Action USA vibe from this.
Yeah.
And I did not know it was the director of Action USA
Yeah.
until I popped out my phone during one of the slow points. I'm like, oh shit,
Yeah.
it's that guy. But yeah, but like you watch that first 15 minutes and you think you're getting another Action USA.
Yeah, but you don't. That's pretty much it. So they front loaded this thing with all that. But coked out Don Stroud is pretty great every time he's in a scene. Miles O'Keefe is all right as a dude tasked with doing some things, but it's not anything amazing or anything. There's just a bunch of dumb stuff in here. The whole photo shoot is just like, what? What is this rapid fire bullshit advertising that we're seeing? And then all of a sudden, lady on a bike. And so, I don't know. It has enough moments where that was all right. That's not bad at all. I was entertained. It's not the best thing. It's not as good as last week's movie or anything like that. But, it has moments. So, 2 jocks.
I can echo that. I think I have to say 2 jocks as well. I have to admit, the only reason it's probably getting that high is up to the scene where there's the glass caged jump ropes. I was kind of really loving this movie. That was the cutoff point. That scene, for some reason, up to that, I was like, man, this is Action USA all over again. What else has this guy done? We got to see it all.
Yep.
Give me more. And then, right after that scene, it's it just goes off the wheels kind of bad.
Yeah.
I mean, there's the unpleasant scene. There's the just jumps and fucking logic. Where it's y'all forgot to film something, didn't you?
Yeah.
And
the whole whatever the girl was doing outside of the jail stuff should have been filmed, I think, because when she explains it, it doesn't make any sense.
right. Yeah, it's they forgot to film scenes or ran out of money or something. But yeah, it's just up into that, it is a fantastic movie. And I was like, this is going to be a 5 jocks movie. And it's just I wouldn't normally go back and pick it, but that scene, something about it was right there. This is it. This is the last good scene.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not that it's bad necessarily after that. It's just man, this movie had something going for it, and then they just decided, no, let's not do that anymore.
They set the bad guys up as being such shitty guys. I mean, because the unpleasant scene goes on for a while, and there's a lot of like she stabs one dude, and then he somehow jumps through a window to grab her later.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, this scene goes on for a while, and then they're pinning her down in the bedroom for longer than is necessary at all. And it's very much like, okay, these guys are shitty and they have to die.
And before she dies, she thinks her kid has been shot.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just like it is bad. It's dark. Like it was just like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
movie.
but the main sin that it has is you set those guys up doing that.
Yeah.
And then most of those dudes that are in that scene don't show up again, for one.
Yeah.
And second, like, they just don't get gruesome, horrible deaths like they should.
No. Like, old man henchman gets shot in the head, but it's super quick. He doesn't pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that guy needed to, die real hard.
It's a little bit like the sin of like Avenging Force, where it's like, it's good, but like those dudes need to die worse for everything bad they did.
Yeah.
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 It's so
I'd
good
have
that
to-
they died.
Yeah, it's
Oh, yeah.
good that they
We
died.
were
I'm just
happy
saying,
they
like,
died.
I mean, think about that
They
scene
deserve to
with
die.
Steve James's family.
And I
in
hope they
Avenging
burn in hell.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
Yeah, it's
yes.
just like, murder these guys a million times hard.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but they don't follow through on that, and I think that's why I'm at Two Jocks also. I mean, that first scene is strong, super strong, even though we're just kind of thrown right into it. It's just like, I don't know what anybody's doing or why they're doing it, but I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought if they had sort of ended the movie when that faded to black,
Yeah.
after the first scene, that would have been like at least a Four Jocks movie.
Yeah.
It was great. All the rest of the stuff pared it down to probably somewhere in the neighborhood of a Two Jocks. I'll just go ahead and round it up to Two Jocks. I don't know that it well, it didn't quite earn Two Jocks, but yeah, I have to pick either one or two, and it's a little bit closer to two than one.
It gets 2 for Sweet Explosions.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that one
Swift
explosion
explosion.
was pretty
Yeah.
badass.
I did like that car, as weird looking as it was, and like as like crazy
drive it
janky
around, yeah.
kit car. Yeah, it looked like it drove pretty well, and it blew up really good.
That guy survived.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
without a scratch or a burn
Yeah.
on him.
I
So,
mean, it really was a Firebird.
yeah.
Nice.
Just rose from the
Phoenix
ashes.
rising.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Damn it.
Like
Red
the
the
legend of the
Nine.
Phoenix.
So yeah, Two Jocks.
Yeah. Yep.
But I wouldn't like.
This movie ends where it should have ended in the beginning.
It's definitely not a hey come see this Two Jocks. It's just like
Yeah, it's all right.
It ticks enough boxes that it gets there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Break time?
Yep.
Okay.
Break.
Break. Let me do it. I don't stop that. Just let it go. Hey, come back. Thing.
Hey, what?
I don't
Hey.
know. Screen actually went
Hey.
asleep. Hi.
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 Stop. Fall asleep, screen.
Don't fall asleep.
Ooh. 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 Ah. Yeah. I didn't address it to you.
What did you do?
That image I put on Facebook, the close up of a guy vaping, and it just said mouth fedora.
Oh, shit.
BJ didn't like it.
He disliked it.
He did not give me thumbs up.
If only there was a dislike button, I would shove it in your face.
He would shove it literally in your face.
How rude.
Man. How's it almost 11 already? What the hell?
I don't know. Well, we fucked around for like a good 20 minutes before we started.
How did I miss that mouth fedora thing? That's fantastic.
Yeah, pretty good. Glad the two of them spent 20 minutes in the chat, so it was mostly up to me and you to recap the movie there.
I was in the chat a little bit.
Oh, okay, great. So it was just me talking to myself.
It was a good chat. Dude, the chat's been good.
Chat's been good.
That's been good.
It has
I wish
been.
we'd
It's been
archive
active
these.
chat. Yeah, it's still not doing it, is it?
Nope.
Oh,
Man.
still no. Like it's gone once as soon as the stream's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. Shout out to that one guy pissed off at us for having GoBots and not having the actual GoBots movie.
Once again, YouTube's dumbass comment system. You can't even respond to that guy.
Yeah. The older ones, you can't do it. Yeah.
But this one, this is, I guess, because he posted on Google Plus or something.
I don't know.
Whatever their thing
Who
is.
gives
but
a shit?
I wanted to tell that guy to fuck right off.
Who gives a shit?
Me, fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Well,
I just love that he left a comment on a video that's gone now, but it was a copy of
Yeah.
Schwarzenegger's Maggie complaining that, like, it said, man, this movie, it was really great and I was affected by it, but fuck YouTube for placing advertising all over this, these corporate greedy bastards. And I was like, you just stole a movie that's still in the theater? What?
He's a greedy bastard.
Yeah. It's just one of the, I love, like, I wanted to send him the definition of irony
Mm-hmm.
and just, like, mail that off to him.
Yeah.
And see if he
That's why I wanted to be able to respond to him.
Yeah. Oh, well.
Yes, oh well. So.
I thought we talked about the Gem and the Holograms trailer last week.
Probably did.
I didn't watch it last week. Or this
Yeah,
week.
where we just joked about how the best part of it is kids actually carrying their songs on the radio.
Like that
Which
thing
gives
you
away
do.
that
Oh, yeah,
was
we did
written
talk
by-
about it.
yeah.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just like that thing you
But
do.
I think it was during the break.
Yeah. Yeah, it was not good, but I've never seen Gem and the Holograms, the original, so.
I'm not offended. I mean, the trailer looks like ass, but only because it's a movie I've seen
Yeah,
6
we
times.
were just disappointed it was by the director of Step Up 3D.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but Step Up 3D is fucking awesome.
Yeah. And it just
And
didn't.
this
What?
did not look
Yeah.
fucking awesome.
Yeah.
What? Bring it.
Well, when they said they were making it, and I was like, well, that's going to piss people off. And then they were like, and here's the director. I was like, oh, okay, it's going to be fine. It's going to be crazy like that cartoon was.
Nope.
But no, it just looks like Josie and the Pussycats without any irony or humor.
Nope.
So
I swear they bought they already had they already had the script for that movie.
Most likely.
oh,
for
absolutely.
Jim,
They
and
they slapped
bought
that
the
name
license.
on it.
They're like, let's just call it Jim and the
Yeah.
Phalograms, or am I right?
Yes. Jim and
That's
the
what they should have
Failures.
called it.
Yeah.
Gem and the
Junk
Failures.
and the phalograms, am
Yeah.
I right?
Yeah. All right. Obviously, we're basically going to talk about one thing here. One thing only.
Maximilian de Anger.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Are we even mentioning the older ones, or not going to bother with that?
Can. I mean, I only watched Road Warrior in half of Thunderdome.
First half.
I mean, we.
I just fell asleep.
probably
It wasn't
don't
like a
wanna-
choice. I was just falling asleep, and I was like, well, this is useless.
What,
Not the
sleeping?
movie, just like, like trying to watch this now.
Yeah.
I was, I forgot to catch up before the movie time.
Catch up.
I didn't
Papa
bother.
tomato, Mama tomato, baby
I've
tomato.
seen them before, so
Yeah.
Catch up.
I haven't seen the first Mad Max in a long time. I did kind of want to watch that, but
I don't- I
I
don't-
needed to see Road Warrior.
I really don't think it was necessary to.
Probably not.
Well,
I
considering the
don't
new
care.
one's a reboot completely.
Not necessary, but, any excuse to watch the Road Warrior.
Road Warrior's all right.
It's okay. I mean,
Hey, how about we record this and talk
food,
about it?
It's
then?
no food fight.
No, it most certainly is
I
not.
guess it isn't.
Isn't that?
It is not.
See?
What?
Weren't you talking about food fight?
Yes.
Mhm.
Nazis.
Oh, yeah.
Second half time. All right, welcome back.
Hey!
Oh,
Second
hi.
half. BMFcast.
We're back.
Half number 2.
I didn't see
We're
that.
back.
We took a long break,
So long.
and here we are, refreshed, ready to go,
Always.
talking movies.
Yeah, movies.
Who saw a movie?
I think we all did.
All of us.
Yeah, we all saw a big, loud movie.
Pitch Perfect 2.
Yeah. The pitch is back.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bring it, pitches. Whatever that poster says. Fuck all that shit.
Yeah, they sold that movie by making pitches.
Uh huh. They did.
Mm-hmm.
That's how you make a movie.
Yeah.
You pitch it.
I'm doing this right?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes all the sense.
Yeah.
Nah, come on. We all saw Mad Max Fury Road.
We did, and my girlfriend is just discovering this now that I saw it. She's going to be so mad.
Oh dear.
Hooray!
Well,
Sorry.
Well, why didn't you just take her to it?
I made a poor string of decisions.
went out for milk.
He was
Okay.
he
Ended up
tried
seeing a movie.
he was looking for diapers in every
Yeah.
store in town, and they just didn't have the right ones.
Stayed home from work Monday, did not feel well, didn't leave the house until like
Till the movie.
8 o'clock because I had to eat. And
And you needed popcorn, am I right?
You
Right.
coward.
Yeah.
well, like the place that I ate was down the street from the movie theater. I'm like, it's a good way to spend 2 hours. I still feel like crap. I'm not tired. Let me go watch this movie. And now she's going to kill me.
Well,
All right, cool.
R.I.P.
Well, you'll
and
be
peace,
feeling
BJ.
even worse when you're dead.
Well,
Yeah.
All right. So the movie that we saw.
Mad Max Fury Road.
Yeah.
First up, we saw it the very first Thursday evening screening. Big screen, 3D.
Yep.
Don't see this in 3D.
No.
Go to a 2D showing.
Yes.
I have to agree.
Yep. 100%.
100%. And I'm usually the guy who's like, 3D is pretty cool. I like 3D.
I've started to come around
There
on
are
3D a
very
little
few
bit.
movies that I've been like, man, don't. But the 3D makes everything look like CG,
Yeah.
and it makes it look over digitized.
My biggest, I feel like I'm going to be internet shitting on this movie at some point. I might as well start now. My biggest thing is like watching it in 3D, and I'm blaming the 3D solely at this point. At this point in juncture, I feel like I was lied to with that movie, the way it looked, because like the trailers, like everything had that like HDR look to it, and all the colors looked wrong when we saw it, and I have to blame the 3D filtering system because like it didn't look like the trailer. Like, go ahead.
no, I was just going to... I saw it in 2D.
Okay.
And it looked great.
Okay.
It looked...
Yeah, like I said, I mean, I'm not trying to
it looked
shit
like,
on the movie.
you know, Australian wasteland.
Yeah, but I mean, like
but it looked
specifically
really
that
good.
shot in the trailer where they're coming up on the big dust cloud. Just that coloring was off, big time.
Yeah.
Oh,
you gotta
when they're
polarized
all
filter.
driving towards the...
like that shot where it was just like, oh fuck this, and in the trailer,
That looked so good.
Well, I was like, this movie could be practically anything it wants to be as long as it looks that color scheme and this, these bright colors and everything. I will go see this.
But with that said,
The only time it looked weird, I'm sorry, was when they got into the dust cloud.
Well,
that,
sure.
well,
But-
that was weird.
Because they kind of had to.
Yeah.
Because you just don't have fire tornadoes.
Yeah.
In
but
nature.
I mean, it just... the coloring
Says you.
was kind of
I've never been to
funky.
Australia. So,
Yeah, there's good reason. They've got fucking giant walls of dust and fire tornadoes.
Exactly.
And bandits and
bandits.
but yeah, let's say
war
this:
boys.
see this movie, but see it in 2D.
And on a big fucking screen.
Yes.
Yeah. Biggest screen you can find.
Big, loud, like, there's like one theater in town that plays, it's got the sound fucking cranked. And like, go see it in that theater.
Yeah.
I guess I'm very disappointed that, especially in summer months, the large, be it IMAX, XD, or RPX, which is Regal's answer to all this, they have
Really?
one too. All of these like large screen format things are almost always tied to 3D. Like,
yes.
unless it's a movie like Furious 7 where they're like, we didn't even do 3D. Like, then you can see it in that theater. But it's like, if it's a movie that was even thought of in 3D, like that's what you're tied to.
Yeah.
To
That's
see it.
between $3 and $5 additional dollars a seat.
It's
So-
not that. I just want the big theater. Like, I
mean, for them, it's $3 to $5 more.
I know. It's just it's
Yeah.
annoying to me that like
I know.
you
I agree.
lose that.
Yeah.
I feel like there's
3D should be an option.
I feel like there's going to be like this blowback at some point in the future. Like one of the theater chains is going to be like, here's our large format screen, and we don't do 3D.
Yeah.
Like come here, and we're going to get the people that want to see it big but not in 3D.
Hopefully.
Yep.
But yeah, the actual movie.
Oh, I'm sorry. Were we annoying you?
No.
No.
We
All
can
right.
talk about the
All
movie
right.
though, right?
Well, yeah. I was talking about the experience.
Okay.
These are all
Mr. Itchy over there.
Yeah.
I mean, these are all having to do with the experience of seeing the movie.
Yeah, $3 to $5 a movie up seat. They make more money. That's why they put the big ones in the 3D theater.
Okay.
Well, they got to pay for that
What the fuck
conversion.
is wrong with you?
No, they have to pay for that conversion. So, I mean, that's... Yeah.
These are all valid things to talk
I
about.
mean, it just, like you were saying, the Fury 7 just didn't have it, so
Right.
that's the way it was forced to be. But yeah, if it's 3D, they're throwing it in there.
So, because Mackie is itching, let us speak of the movie.
Well, we can segue into it.
No, straight in.
What the hell is happening?
I don't know.
You guys are mad.
I'm not mad.
I am a little mad. not in about this. I mean, like, I feel like this is another case of, like, calm the fuck down, people. It's a movie. It's not going to change your life. Like, I mean, I'm tired of, like, every single thing that comes out being the next best thing ever. Because, like, it's good. It's a good movie. I like the movie. It was still kind of ruined for me by people going, "Oh my god,"
I'm with you to a certain extent there. I wish we had never played that voicemail last week that said this is the best action movie of the past 20 years. Because to me, that oversold it immediately. And then it's so weird now that it's become a case of a 98% rating on Rotten Tomatoes is working against this movie.
Right. And that's
because
what I mean.
everyone is going in expecting their new favorite movie. And it's certainly, it's good. And my summary of it is this is a huge, big budget, awesome, expertly crafted, garbage B movie.
You think it's really
Yes.
a garbage B movie?
Yes. I think plot wise and everything else, it is like it is just about everything we look for in a BMFcast movie, where it's just like crazy action, straight up, let's just fucking do this, go nuts. But it is not think about how dorky that movie is. I mean, on its base level, if you were to sit there and describe the things in that movie and not talk about the filmmaking or anything, or just put it on paper, that movie's dorky as fuck. And that's fine. I love that they ran with it and they took that as far as they could possibly go.
What kind of dorky? Because I mean, it's obviously not like.
Well, it's like that.
Look at the character names.
Yeah, the 12-year-old kid reading Heavy Metal magazine. This is the dream project, and nobody holds the reins back, which is fine. I don't have a problem with that. This is not a complaint. I'm just on the surface.
Okay,
but
I'm just asking because
it is a B movie with a monstrous budget.
Yeah. Okay.
But also, think of it in terms of the old Corman movies, where it's people that were making these had talent.
Yeah.
And and had ideas and knew all right, I want to do it this way. I mean, I might be making Death Race 2000, but you know what? I'm going to make the best fucking Death Race 2000 ever. That's what this movie is George Miller going, I'm making a crazy ass Cars in the Desert Psycho Guys movie, and I'm going to make the best possible Cars in the Desert crazy ass Psycho Guys movie.
Okay. Yeah, that's completely fair. I think it's it strikes me each time I think about it, I know it's there's a bunch of ridiculous shit going on. Obviously, that's a given, but it's so incredibly well done that I guess for me it feels like it manages to it's greater than the sum of its parts, even though it's full of the plot is nothing new. There's nothing new under the sun really, but the plot is obviously been done to death. Every variation on that plot that you can do has been done. But in a way it's every chord that you can play on a guitar has been played. But when you string a bunch of them together in a really pleasing way, you can churn out something that is, and I don't want to say a masterpiece, but this is really fantastic.
Yeah, I trust me, I really, I love the movie, but and I like it more the more I think about it and the more I read about it. I mean, Chuck is obviously the most enthusiastic about it with what he just said, but
this movie's art. I'm sorry. I mean, I don't necessarily disagree with you with it being a B movie, but there's not. I don't want to get too into this because people are just going to argue with me, but it's never. A lot of action movies are action for the sake of action. It's we got to get from point A to point B, go real fast, and that'll be your action. Everything in this movie is so well conceived and conceptualized, and you could tell they spent so much time thinking about the logistics of every little tiny thing in this. I mean,
Yes.
it's like no frame is wasted. Like the equipment in this world, while ridiculous, makes some kind of sense to that universe. You know, and this is totally not a spoiler. This is just a minor thing that happens in the film. There's a part where a car or a truck hood is on fire, and that truck is equipped with a thing to dig into the ground to kick dust up at the fire to put it out.
Yeah.
That's fucking genius.
I loved that so much.
That, I mean, there are so many times in this movie where I'm watching it and I just start nodding my head like, yes, you have conceived the perfect thing here. This is, no one could do this moment any better than what is happening right now. And I had a couple little complaints about certain plot points in the film, but the more I think about it, I cannot complain about anything in this film. I can't complain about the reaction it's gotten. I can't complain about the hype it's gotten. It deserves it, if you ask me.
Yeah, I'll admit, when I think about that movie, I can't think of anything I'd change.
Yeah.
Because it is what it is. It is pretty much... It really... I've said it a couple times before, but on Twitter or wherever, but it is it is an entire third act made into one movie. If this were your standard movie, you would have like, oh, well, the first act would be, oh, well, this is how the guy with the weird face, what's his name?
Which one?
The main bad guy. The main bad guy with
Immortan
the,
Joe.
Immortal Joe, yeah.
Yeah, Immortal, like, it would be how he got into power, and then it would be, well, how Furiosa set up the deal that she's going to do would be the second act, and then the third act would be, all right, here's where we're going, and this is when she veers off, and now, oh, it's the big third act chase. You know, most movies would be that. Mm-hmm. This movie is, here she is, all right, her plan's in action now. Go. And this is the next 2 hours, is that plan trying to be carried out.
Well, it basically just assumes that we can figure the fuck out that some shit happened to get things into this. Like, this is it's a fucking B movie, but it doesn't treat you like you're a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
It puts things on screen and says, here are things that
it does the whole
stuff had to happen for this to come to be, and deal with it, because we're going to tell a story in this world.
Yeah, and it follows the whole show don't tell
so incredibly well
thing.
Yes.
It, like other people point out, Furiosa, the people that work for her, the guys who are like on her team or whatever, she just says, okay, we're doing this. And they don't question it, they don't ask about it, they're just like, all right, cool, whatever. And that's like how you know how much pull she has and how much clout she has with this whole thing, and why all the bad guys are going to take it seriously when she crosses them.
Yeah.
Because they've already implied it. They've shown it to us just through how those guys react to her.
Yeah.
And I also love like having basically a character who's missing an arm, who has a disability, that they never mention it once throughout the entire movie. I didn't even know, I know the trailers and everything, I didn't even know that she only had one arm.
And they also don't.
I didn't either.
They also don't treat it like, oh, woe is me, she's got a disability. They don't make it her. They don't make it a plot point. It's
not her name. I mean,
yeah,
it's not
like it's old,
one
triple
arm
M
lady
film or whatever. Like they do an incredibly good job of treating both the disability and the female characters, I think, in this movie incredibly well. Like, it's not like there aren't a whole bunch of like sexist bullshit tropes, and there aren't a whole bunch of
everything works in the world without justification, really. It's not like there are a bunch of good-looking women in there, but they are good-looking women because they are the ones he has chosen specifically for that purpose.
Yeah. Right. And he has kept them in that state of being hot, and they are now escaping. I've seen some complaints against this movie. It's like, well, they just threw a bunch of hot women in there. It's like, well, no, there's a logical reason they look like that, is because that's what the bad guy was keeping them like, and they just now got away. It's not like they had time to cut their hair and put on a potato sack and, and be homely. They just, they're living in like the gas tank of a truck.
That'd be a really weird Fury Road, just potato sack races. Not very impressive stunts.
That's the asylum version.
I guess the way I would liken this movie is this is like the best made version of what you tried to get from the Godzilla movie from, was it last year or the year before?
Yeah.
Where I get it. Like, it's kind of like, all right, we finally have the technology and the tools and the means and the budget to do all the things right that we never could with a whole giant genre of movies. Because that's the thing, is like, if you think about it, Mad Max and Road Warrior and all that, those aren't the only movies like that.
No.
I mean, they were kind of the most famous, but there were a lot of like road rage bandit movies, things like that. Not all necessarily post-apocalyptic, but just a lot of like crazy Aussie, you know, stunt spectacular movies.
Yeah.
So this is like that culmination of that. It's like, well, here's all the ingredients. It's the original creator. It's, you know, the master, the person that pioneered this and made it the best. And now, you know, we're going to give him $100 million and go nuts. And it's the best made version of that. However, saying all that, I also went back and watched the Road Warrior, and like, there's still a part of me, I prefer the Road Warrior to this, because like, it's the best version of the original things to me. Like, this is still, even in its best incarnation, to me, is still an homage to that. And so, you know what I mean? It's like, there's still something more charming and more interesting and fascinating about the original to me than the best made homage.
Well, my thing is with Road Warrior, like, we had an email a few weeks ago about somebody saying action beats. Are they killing movies, or are they fine? I think that's what happens with Fury Road. Is it's all action beat, and there's no beat. It's just, you've gone up to the top of this plateau and you stay there for the vast majority of the movie. Whereas Road Warrior, there is downtime for people to learn about each other and do that stuff, which there is some of that in Fury Road, yes, but
there's a fair amount of downtime in Fury Road. I mean,
not a lot.
Not compared to something like Road Warrior.
Well, they're always moving.
Yeah, they're moving.
But it's not always. I mean, there's always something going on, but that doesn't mean it's not downtime necessarily. Like, there is definitely there are peaks and valleys in this movie. I wouldn't categorize it as just like, you know, front to back, nothing but action.
I mean, I would say, you know, picture in your mind, if you will, had one of the Star Wars prequels or the next things that are going to come out been perfectly made, like, it is like, holy shit, this is like the best Star Wars we've had since Empire. Is it going to beat Empire? No, probably not. Not in my mind. I don't think anything ever could. I mean, I'm not trying to like set a goal, like, you know, but that's a pretty high bar to beat. It's probably not going to be beaten.
As a movie, I think this beats the others into the ground. As a nostalgia, interesting, fun thing,
yeah.
But what I might agree with.
What I'm saying is, like, okay, so imagine if one of the prequels, or like I said, the new ones.
I was doing that.
There is still going to be a cheat of CG. I know this is like 80-90% real stuff, but you still know they can cheat with CG. And you watch Road Warrior, and that is crazy, and it's 100% authentic. There's absolutely nothing in there that's CG. Like, they made a gyrocopter. They made, you know...
Well, gyrocopter is a thing that exists. It's not like they had to,
but I mean, like,
invent a gyrocopter.
Well, like, I mean, the stunts with it and everything. I mean...
I don't think that's a fair comparison,
look at some of the insane... Like, 99% of the stuff that happened in Fury Road was actually real. They built those vehicles for real. Like, I'm not less impressed by Fury Road because there's a scene or two with some CG in it. Like,
I don't think authenticity is the only thing.
Yeah, that's not your
going.
I don't think that's your home necessarily.
Because I mean, like, I think in art, like a hyper specific example for us, Robot Jox, Pacific Rim, similar kinds of things. Pacific Rim is amazing and expensive and does a great deal right and is a fucking amazing movie. Robot Jox still has this thing about it. You know, and that's practical effects, miniatures, and all that stuff. Guys built these robots and all that. It's that same kind of thing. I think they are both the same and both totally different. Yeah.
I mean, CG, the problem is when it doesn't have weight, and I never felt like things didn't have weight in this movie. You know, I hate that I only seen it in 3D, so I don't know what exactly looked more CG than anything else, because the 3D honestly made everything look like CG, which kind of sucks.
Well, I'm sure when a truck toppled over and you see 17 dudes spill
Yeah.
out of it and die, that was probably not real. Although it is Australia, so I don't
Yeah,
know.
stuntmen are cheap.
They're grown on trees to die.
Actually, I don't think they even shot it in Australia now. Did they?
Oh, was it South Africa?
Namibia. Yeah.
But they brought Australians in.
Oh, yeah.
Those crazy Aussies.
I do have one complaint about this movie, and it's something that I think they could definitely fix quite easily.
Yeah.
There's you guys saw it in 3D, so you know the scene where all the shit comes out at you,
Yeah.
like the one big one.
Right.
That looks terrible in 2D,
Figured
and
it
I'm
would.
sure it looked terrible in 3D.
It did.
And they need to fix that.
Kind of kitschy in 3D. It was all right, but I was looking at it and going, man, into this, that's going to look terrible
Yeah.
in 2D.
They have to fix that.
They could. I mean, who knows?
They won't, but they really should fix that. And that is a thing that people need to stop doing with 3D, because that, like, it's not a kids movie. I don't need like a paddle ball coming out at my face if I'm watching a 3D movie.
Yeah.
Keep it in the Pixar movies or DreamWorks 3D movies or whatever. But
Yeah. But the character work in that movie is really solid.
I think so too.
Like there's so much that happens that's almost unspoken, but it still works. You know, it all develops, I felt, naturally, and has a nice arc, especially with Nux.
Yeah.
yeah,
That character in particular, but also with the women in there that, you know, there's a point where Max is just like, well, we'll just fucking kill him. And they're like, no, you can't just murder him. It's not his fault that he's crazy like this. You know, he's some dude who's been brainwashed since he was little.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so there is like this protective thing going on with them. And there's, you know, obviously Furiosa is the best character in the movie. I mean, she is really the main character of the movie. She's the one driving the action,
Yep.
which is honestly pretty similar to all the other Mad Max movies. I haven't seen Thunderdome, but the first two, where he's not really the one driving the action. And, you know, in Mad Max, he's pretty much the main character. But Road Warrior, he never quite feels like he's the one driving the action. He's just kind of the guy who's there.
He has stumbled into a situation,
Yeah.
which is
Which
exactly
is-
what happens here.
Yeah.
He is not
He
along
keeps
for the
kinda just
ride
ending up
willingly.
in these situations. Yeah.
Quite the opposite, actually.
Yeah, I mean, it's like it's Michael York looking dude and, you know, Lord Humongous
Yeah.
that are fighting it out, and, you know, and the cast of characters there.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
And I also love that they
Lord
brought the bad guy from Mad Max, the 1979 original, is the same actor who's playing the bad guy in this one.
Yeah.
Which is so weird
it is weird,
in itself.
but it's nice. It's a nice.
Yeah.
If you're gonna have a dude with a big mask on anyway, why not?
I really dug his car too.
I dug everything about that dude.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously
Pretty
he
good.
had some bad backstory happening there,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he
They
had
did a
he had
really
a sense of style.
Yeah, he did. And going back to like showing, not telling, they did a magnificent job of giving that guy like some crazy fucking backstory
Yeah.
without having to say a word. His entrance, you see everything you need to know about that guy.
I think it's more fun to think
move
about how he came to be than had they told us.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, I'm sure there'll be novels and comics.
I'm sure
and
there will.
spin-offs of-
But just watching that and then just kind of like thinking like this guy was probably like a roadie, you know, who just happened upon this badass situation. He took advantage
maybe
of
that's
it.
why he had the big Marshall stacks.
Yeah, and just made it this his whole playground of just like I'm a badass and I want all these things, and you know, I mean, it's just you could just plug in any kind of just power trip fantasy thing onto this guy, and
It's funny. I mean, look, I'm not trying to shit on the movie at all. That is not my intent. I think it's actually fascinating with I'm joking about the novels and the comics and all of that, but if you think about the greatest bits of storytelling, the things that we hold dear after so many years, are the things that were left wide open for interpretation on other bits. Like, things that were left empty to, like, this is a fully fleshed universe. Things are happening outside, before, middle, and after this happening, and go crazy with fan fiction. And that's what people do, because they're like, I love this world, give me more. If not, I will create it, or I'll find someone that's creating it. And that's the truest sign of, like, of good storytelling. It's just to open up a world. And I mean, so many other of these kinds of movies, it's like, I watched it, it's over. I think I got everything I need out of that universe. Yeah. I mean, the poor example being something like I don't hate this movie, but like you think about something like Waterworld. No one was like, I need to write Waterworld fan fiction. You know, like it's kind of the same thing. It's Mad Max on the water, but it's like nobody was like, yeah, I'm good there.
Yeah.
You know, like
Mad Max.
yeah.
Yeah, no one is really like, man, if I could just call this comic book Waterworld continuation,
Right.
get the rights to
Yeah,
the
I mean,
art.
it's just almost all the same kinds of ingredients, just picked from the worst places, I
Yeah.
guess. You know,
Yeah, I mean the Mad Max series to me almost feels like kind of like the Judge Dredd comics, where it's like the character of this main guy is just the link to tell completely different stories.
Yep.
Yeah.
Just like Link in the Zelda games is just,
He's just a...
and just like James Bond is
Yep. But no, but like, you know, in the Judge Dredd comics, they're like, some people are just like, we're going to do a crazy political thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then some of them are just like, we're going to do a straight out fucking action thing. And then these can all exist in the same universe. And that's what the Mad Max, the series, feels like.
Mm-hmm.
Because all these 4 movies are very different
Yeah.
movies.
But if they have anything in common, I mean, except for the first one, which is basically the origin story of everything, and the universe hasn't really exploded yet.
Yeah, which
is,
the origin story doesn't happen until the third act.
Yeah, but it's basically just like, here's a dude, he's got a tragic backstory, he's kind of fucked up, and oh god, he's swept into this situation, dear lord, what's happening?
Mm-hmm.
That's basically what's happened, and he's not... He people got all pissed off. It's like, why isn't Mad Max the hero? He's like, he's never been.
Yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. It's like, even as much as I love Road Warrior, you think about it, it's like they're like, okay, you got your car, go off and do your thing, and it's like 5 minutes later, he's crashing that fucking car. Mad Max is actually his only superpower is crashing cars horrifically and surviving.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
Like,
Oh,
because he
so
does
he's like the guy
he
from
does
the
it in the
movie
first
tonight.
5 minutes of this movie.
yeah, yeah,
It's like, oh hey, oh shit, I have superpowers. I hear them coming. Drive fast, drive fast. Oh fuck.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's all he's done this in like every movie.
And I love that, like, a little bit later, he's like, that's my car.
Yeah.
That's my car.
Yeah.
That's my car. That's my car. That's
Yeah.
my car. And then,
But God, just, I mean, like, on technical merit alone, just looking at what they've created, like these monstrosity vehicles that they have welded together. I mean, I'm looking at it and I'm like, well, that's strange looking. Then I realized they've like welded Volkswagen, Beetles to each side of this giant truck for extra seating. And it didn't hit me at first. And then when I finally noticed it, I was like, that's kind of smart, because it looks like it would fit there. I mean, there's just...
Yeah.
Like, when they roll out a car, which is just 4 cars stacked on top of each other, and you're just looking at it and going, well, that's dumb, but it's moving, so obviously they've done something awesome
it's
here.
got giant tires and a even bigger engine, and it
Yeah.
seats 12,
I mean,
so
it's
that's
just like-
convenient.
The people living in this universe have figured some shit out, and that's kind of really cool.
Mm-hmm.
That, you kind of just want to watch like a reality show of like the working in the garage.
like Junkyard Wars.
Yeah, something like that. Just
Mad Max
Yeah.
Junkyard
But
Wars.
to speak, I mean, again, it's not shitting on the movie, but like what he's saying about it being a B movie and being kind of dumb when you break it down. Why in a post-apocalyptic universe where gas is one of the most precious items, is everybody driving around all the time? Why just stop driving?
Is it though?
Yeah, it always has been. Like all
Well,
about the gas and
This
or water.
version of it, water seems to
Yeah.
be
Yeah.
the thing.
Food.
Well, yeah, okay. So yes,
Food.
in this one they
need
they
gasoline,
have
but-
they're pumping gas out of somewhere. You
Yeah.
know, like so it's not like it's rare to them.
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it's been
Because-
established in all the other ones. It's like I'll do it for gas. I'll do it for gas. It's like I'm just saying the world of Mad Max is kind of illogical because
Well, I kind
why
of
was
maybe
this
this
easily driving.
this area wherever they
You have
are
to-
has plentiful gas, and
It's the currency of the land,
Yeah.
is what it seems like. Is like,
I know.
that's
I'm just saying it's
yeah.
it's a
You can't walk across it.
I know.
You can't ride a bicycle across the sand dunes. So you got to drive. So you got to have gas.
sure.
So even if
Or
it's plentiful,
maybe
gas
it's
is
just dumb and it was an allegory for the late '70s gas crisis.
sure. That
All
could
right.
be it too. But I mean, you can if you want to examine it in a logical sense. If you want to say this doesn't make sense, then we
I
can.
know.
Now
we
it's
can,
just an allegory for California.
Right.
yeah.
yeah.
Stupid almonds.
Yeah, totally.
I just hate almonds, guys.
Yeah, but
The Allman Brothers? What?
No, I like the Almond Brothers. I just hate almonds.
Oh, okay.
I
Oh, the Allman Brothers. They wrote that song for Top Gear. It's just about driving.
Good job bringing it back.
Go ahead, Mackie.
No, I have reservations about the movie, though the more I talk about it, the more I like it. If that makes any sense.
Sure.
You know, and hearing all the enthusiastic stuff, it's just, I feel like so many people now that are kind of being the contrarians they didn't want to do it, but if you sit somebody down for a meal and go, this is going to be the best steak you ever eat, it's not going to be. It has so much to live up to be the best steak you're ever going to eat.
Yeah,
you know,
like, stop doing that, everybody. Especially like if you've seen it early or you see it opening day, just shut the fuck up and let it exist for at least a week. I mean, you can be like, I enjoyed that.
It's
but
hard
let's
to contain
leave
the
it.
enthusiasm.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
let's leave it at that. Like, please, that's all I ask. Like,
yeah, but it is.
all you're doing is if you love something, let it exist, because all you're doing is a disservice to go out and go like, this is the best movie of the year, and then everyone has to go, now that you've set me up for that, it's not the
on
best.
the flip side
But
of that,
it's not the
You
movie's
have to
fault.
let you have to let people know
you got to
that
let
you
people
that's what
really
I'm saying.
enjoyed it.
because
So
a movie like this lives or dies on the first week it's out. It was already going to get pummeled by Pitch Perfect 2 anyway.
Enjoyed is strong enough, is all I'm saying. Like, I enjoyed that. I would recommend
No.
seeing that.
If you say,
No.
I enjoyed Mad Max, they'll say, oh, good, I'll see it on Blu-ray.
yeah. If you go, fuck, Mad Max was fucking awesome. Go
Yeah.
see it.
Okay.
You have to. I mean, you
I'm
can't
saying
just tell
there
people
there
to.
are levels of hyperbole which probably should be used, and best movie ever on opening day sounds dumb and then makes people go, well,
If you feel like it was, I mean, like
I think-
I know
I
what you're
didn't go
saying.
in-
Like hyperbole can hurt this movie.
Yeah, and it
But-
did.
But is that the fault of the person saying it? If they're genuinely saying,
Yeah.
this is the most fantastic thing I've seen in a theater
it's
in
not the movie's
5
fault.
years?
And
This
I
isn't
went,
blame.
I went into
I know.
it not looking for that, and I still, there's something missing for me, and I still haven't quite figured out what it is yet.
It's your
With-
soul.
Maybe, maybe it is, but I walked out and I said I enjoyed the hell out of that. I don't know if I want to buy the Blu-ray and see it again, but I definitely enjoyed the ride that I took there. And I'm not sure what there was that's that one little key ingredient that I need to make me absolutely love that movie.
Yeah.
Sexist.
But it's one of those that I can recommend the hell out of, and that's for damn sure.
Yeah. It's a mix of I haven't had time, and B, like, I'm not sure I want to see it again. I'm pretty sure I want to see it again, but I didn't like a lot of movies will hit me like I need to see that again as soon as humanly possible. Can I skip something tomorrow and see it again? I didn't have that for that, but there is something in the back of my mind like I think I need to see this again. Mm-hmm. Honestly, it's just been time that's kept me.
Well, yeah,
from
I
doing
mean,
it.
the most backhanded compliment I can give it is when everything stands out, nothing stands out. And it felt like one of those movies where every action scene felt like a great action scene, but it started feeling like they weren't doing anything different by the end of it. And if, you know, that might be the thing that happened to me. I don't know. Maybe I'll get it on Blu-ray and be like, all right, I'm going to watch chunks of this at a time, and they're all going to seem fucking amazing.
Like, I mean, again, remember how I reacted when I saw Scott Pilgrim? Like,
Nope.
No?
No, I don't.
Okay, well, I was like, y'all didn't see it for like 3 months until after I saw it. Like, you waited for video to come out.
Yep.
Yeah. And like, I was real apprehensive because like, I was like, I know I like that. It kind of blew my mind. And I think it's also like a little bit of a theater going experience. So I'm actually kind of hoping like people will have this second coming, like the hype dies down, they'll buy it on Blu-ray. I know it's like everyone seems to think that's a bad thing, but if you buy it on Blu-ray, it's not a bad thing for the studio for making more. But like, I mean, there was a second wave of love for that. Like, I was like, I enjoyed it. It kind of blew my mind. I didn't know exactly what to think about it, but I didn't necessarily want to come out and say that was amazing. Get to the theater immediately and see it. Maybe I should have
I
a
think-
little stronger. I don't know, but
I think you should have.
that's a really hard
it took
movie.
me
That's a
5 months
really
to see
hard
that
movie to
movie.
digest the first time.
Yeah.
That
Yes.
it just is.
Yes, it is.
And Mad Max is very similar.
Yes,
in that. There
and
is a
that's what I'm
ton
saying.
Going on,
And that's what I'm saying. I feel like maybe with a second viewing, it'll Scott Pilgrim me, and I'll be like, okay, now that like I've taken it down a notch and I can examine the insanity a little closer. But that first wave of just hitting me in the face, maybe I'll have a different reaction. That's all I mean. It's like
I just don't like or understand as a society how we've gotten to the point where if someone says to you, "Oh my God, this is so great, you've got to go see it," how we have been conditioned to react to that by saying, "Oh yeah, we'll see how good it really is." Like this person who you're friends with is suddenly telling you this lie.
It's not that. It's suddenly like immediately saying better than blah 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 blah, and that's a dangerous road for me at least.
I know, but
Because it feels like they're in one fell swoop shitting on the thing before and then putting this ahead of, and I'm like. The whatever internet defense force or fill in the blank is immediately like, wait, I love that.
Yeah,
and so then you're kind of shitting on that, and I now have to judge this against it. Fuck you.
This whole thing about Mad Max, it just seemed to me like the internet was just like, this thing is amazing. You got to go see it. It's the best thing in 20 years. And then the reaction was, oh yeah, I saw this movie 5 years ago. We'll see how good Mad Max is. I mean, it's like no one was really saying it's better than all the garbage that had Mel Gibson in it before. I was never really seeing that. It was just people saying, this thing is amazing and you need to go see it. And this swell of, we'll see about that, bucko. I mean, it's like, how did this happen? I mean, the internet is like very rarely positive about anything. Mm-hmm. So I think like the 1% of the time that it happens, maybe people could take notice and go, yeah, maybe that will be a good
like
thing.
Like I said, it doesn't come across that way. At least to me, what I felt like is it seems like people can't just say it's great, go see it. It's great, it's better than, because like they can't build something up without shitting on something else.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like. And I feel like maybe it's dumb. I don't know why, but my brain immediately wants to defend thing I like already. Mm-hmm. And so therefore I go in judgmental right off the bat. And all I'm saying is, tell me a movie's great, recommend I'll go see it. I would probably do it anyway.
Well, I
do understand that.
I'll say this. It's most movies like when I really love something, like Children of Men, let's take that as an example. When people complain about it, I go, I can't see that. Like, I can't even wrap my brain around how you could be complaining about that. Mm-hmm. Whereas with Fury Road, the complaints that I've heard from people, like they don't like Max. Max barely does anything. He doesn't really feel like a character. I mean, there's a lot of stuff like that going on, and they don't feel. And some people feel that there was no plot and it wasn't fleshed out. And I can say, you know what? Okay, maybe I can see where you'd come up, where you'd feel that, where you'd have that complaint, and where you'd have that complaint about certain characters. I can totally see that. Whereas, a movie that has completely clicked with me, I'm just like, no, I can't even see how you come to that. That's where I get that irrational hate that's like, what the fuck are you talking about?
I get that.
Yeah. I mean, and I don't necessarily get that with this movie. Like I go, yeah, I can see why you'd think that. You're maybe wrong, but I can see why you'd think that.
Yeah. I mean, understand, I'm not saying about anyone in this room that you heard all the hype, and that's why you're saying it has a couple little things I don't like, therefore, grr. Please understand, I'm not saying that about any of us. I'm speaking more generally in terms of... Because there was this push after, like, the Thursday screenings, because there was that initial reveal of all the critics' reviews that were overwhelmingly, amazingly positive. Mm-hmm. And then the wave of those first screenings where it was just like, holy God, this movie. And then, like, by Sunday, people were like, I don't get it. What's the big deal? And then it just kind of became this thing of, like... that swell of, well, everyone said it was amazing, I went to see it, it wasn't.
Well, yeah, it's just like the best steak you've ever eaten analogy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's it people who are going out to prove,
every other...
Yeah.
I know, but if someone sat me down and said, you're about to eat the best steak you've ever had, and if it wasn't, but it was still amazing, I would say, you're right, this is a pretty amazing steak.
Yes, but
now, if they keep coming at me and it's like, isn't it the best ever? And it would be like, well, I don't know about that, because that steak I had 30 years ago was...
your review will... It's human nature. Your review has to be different. Like, because if somebody says, man, he always burns the fucking steak, I hope it's edible. And then they put the second best steak you've ever had.
Right.
You're going to go, holy fuck, that was amazing. Whereas if I said in front of you and said, this is going to be the best steak you've ever eaten, you're going to go, yeah, that was pretty good. Mm-hmm. It's human nature. It has to happen that way. Like,
or it
our
could
expectation, we can't
could actually be the best steak you've ever eaten. Sometimes
it could be, but
sometimes it can be the best steak you've ever eaten.
If you think about, like,
don't discount that fact.
Like, I mean, I don't, I didn't, because I saw it a long time ago, and when I was pretty early to paying attention to movies. But like, let's say for 10 plus years you'd been told Citizen Kane is the best movie ever made by every person ever, and then you finally get to it. Your instinct might be to nitpick everything and be like, that's dumb, that's dumb, that's dumb. Why are they overacting here? And not, just discount everything. Like, I'm not saying that happened with this because it's way too new. It's way too many, it's a knee-jerk reaction to, best movie
But
everything.
it's
but
tough to review in a vacuum.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. It's like, when all you're hearing is one thing, and like, if you,
Yeah.
I don't know, it's just, you can get inundated with like one thing, and then like as we were saying, the 98% on Rotten Tomatoes now can almost hurt a movie because people are immediately going in wanting to be contrarian.
I know. And
Or wanting their favorite movie of all time.
Sure.
Because they're going, everyone loves it.
But
I must.
this is the last thing I'll say about it. I mean, like, you look at the 98%, and it's just like, well, that just means positive. That doesn't mean 98% of the people have said it's the best movie of all time.
Yeah.
But, I mean, just there was just so much enthusiasm for it. And my reaction to that enthusiasm was just a lot of people just like, oh, yeah, well, we'll see about that. And it's not even people saying it's the best thing ever. It's people saying, this is something special. This is more than your basic action movie. Mm-hmm. They haven't done anything like this in a very long time. It's mostly practical effects. It's really well thought out. It's a really great action
very
movie.
rational and not at all like what I was reading.
Well,
You read a fucked up part of the internet.
You've got to combine that down to 140 characters and say, Mad Max is great, go see it. And then people are just like, well, is it really that great? I challenge people to watch something like that and then watch something like, I don't know.
Like a Transformers movie.
Yeah. Where the action in that is just like, what is happening? I can't even follow this. And why is everyone racist?
I want to say this, and this movie was better than Furious 7.
Yes.
Yes, absolutely.
100%.
In
Yes.
every way imaginable, except for perhaps they didn't jump a car from building to building.
They didn't have
They
to.
didn't have to.
They didn't have
They
to.
did enough stuff with cars that
Like-
it's just like, good job.
I had a point before I said that, but I was stunned that the words were about to come out of my mouth. But like, this is probably my favorite action movie that I can remember. Especially favorite action movie, having seen it in the theater.
Mm-hmm.
I guess I should apologize. I haven't said anything about it on social media because I wanted to talk about it here first.
Thanks.
Because you guys, well,
Exclusive.
Hot take.
yeah. Another thing is discuss. I hadn't had anybody to sit down and discuss it.
Mm-hmm.
Discuss it with
There you go.
in person. And
Yeah, you can talk about it with your girlfriend.
no, I couldn't.
And honestly,
and it also-
we've avoided talking about it
Yeah.
with each
Yeah.
other for the most part,
and
too.
it always helps me when I can talk about it with other people in person, and especially you guys, because I even though I hate you all, I appreciate your viewpoints on movies, and you guys have a ton more experience.
Somebody must have
Critically-
told you we're all the best friends ever, and then you were like, oh, yeah, we'll see about that.
Yeah, exactly. Oh yeah, table flip. But like, I can't help but feel like almost. I don't even know. I've lost my train of thought again because I just remembered that I said I liked it more than a Furious movie, where the rock bottomed someone through a table.
These are part of my complaints. That it was immediately compared to that because people know how to push our buttons.
Well, I mean, there's like, okay, so there's Furious 7, which is just this.
Well, not 7. I mean, I'm not worried about that.
Yeah, or
5.
5 even, which is just balls to the wall crazy. Not that great of a movie. I mean, it's great, but like it's.
This is the bullshit of like best ever that that pisses me off. Is everyone has to immediately like start ranking, and it becomes a fucking BuzzFeed article.
See, and I don't
best movies in order.
Yeah,
This,
I don't
that,
think-
that.
I loved Fast 5. You know how much I loved it.
I know. Just like I said, but it's just a review needs to be. It's good because of this, this, and this. Not
So you
mention-
cannot compare anything.
Why? That what
You
does
can,
Because there's two big budget, crazy, off the wall action movies.
I agree with where you're going.
I mean, there's
I do.
too many
You have to be able to compare
things wrong. I mean, or not wrong. Too many things different, divergent from the two movies.
Because when I left Mad Max, my first thought was, oh, God, how does this fit into Fast 5 is the best action movie of the last 20 years? And immediately my thought was, whoa, they are radically different movies.
Yeah,
It's
they are.
They are both fantastically and excel at what they do, but to compare the two, it's like, I don't know about that.
That's why my only
you cannot
comparison
compare
is
them beat
Mad
for
Max
beat.
to Mad
No,
Max.
no.
I mean,
That's ridiculous.
that's
but
the only reason I was making my comparison
Yeah.
to Road Warrior.
Yeah.
Is like somebody immediately the next day, because it actually is so radically different to even Road Warrior and Thunderdome and everything, that someone asked me the next day, which do you like better, Fury Road or Road Warrior? And I was like, I was stunned, because I was like, I was like dumbfounded, because I was like, oh shit. I guess I have to think about this.
Yeah, the easiest way to explain that is that this is to the Mad Max movies what Fast 5 was to the first 4 Fast and Furious movies. It's not the same. It's in the same universe and contains some of the same beats, but it is so radically different than what you remember.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, it's kind of like comparing Dredd and the Stallone Judge Dredd.
yeah. Same character, same universe, but
completely different things.
yeah.
Well, I
Completely
don't think
different.
they're quite that radically different, because I mean, it's the same mind behind creating them. I mean,
Yeah, but Judge Dredd is a fucking disaster.
no, I'm talking about George Miller.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
talking about,
I thought we were talking about the
like,
Dredd thing.
no, I don't give a fuck about Stallone Judge Dredd.
Okay.
No, I'm just
That's
saying.
good.
Like,
You should
I'm saying-
not.
I mean, like that's to me, this is as close to apples as you're going to get. It's George Miller making 2 different movies in the same universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, 25, 70 years later, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But as I'm saying, that's the only reason I pull that comparison is like it hit me off the wall where I was like, oh, I have to think about this, and like now that my brain is processing, I'm like, there's a charm and a uniqueness to original Road Warrior, blah, 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 all the things I just said, but everything else
Yeah,
is like
there's-
I don't know.
There's
you know,
a quirkiness in that one that's not present in this
Right.
one. This one is
Yes.
is
It's
more
like-
just
it's
flat
a-
out crazy insanity.
Like I said, it's-
and that's fine. It's not.
It's weird. I think it's like it's almost like a recomposition or a remastering of a movie that it's like there's almost something more original about the untouched pure thing. Like I mean, that's would be why I think I like the old one better. I mean, that's the best one of them. It's the Empire of the trilogy. Mad Max is interesting because it's new and it's different. Road Warrior takes it up a notch, and then Thunderdome kind of is like good for about a half and then falls to shit.
Yeah.
It's Return of the Jedi.
I mean, I admit I've ranked the Mad Max movies like I did the Fast and Furious movies, but in that ranking, I would say that there is a plateau between this Mad Max and the original 3, just as I would say there's a plateau between the last Fast and Furious 3 Fast and Furious movies and the first 4. There just is. They're just different universes almost. And even though they are the same filmmakers and the same thing and the same characters, same ideas, stuff like that, it's just they're almost not comparable, even though they are the only things that are comparable.
Yeah. I mean, they're.
How about we just all agree we liked it?
Yeah, they're all. I mean, that's the thing. If you go and see this, you're going to see a terrific action movie.
Yeah. You absolutely
and
are.
That's what the bottom line should be. Is like, you know what? If you like action movies, chances are you're going to like this one. You're going to like something in it. And if you don't, you're fucking broken, because there are some amazing action scenes in that. And the best part is, it's what we've been talking about as far as trailers go for the other movies we've seen this summer, where, guess what? Everything in that trailer is pretty much the first 20 minutes.
Yeah.
There's a whole movie after that.
And it's just as action-packed as the first stuff that you see.
Yeah.
Like when all the trailer stuff had happened, when I'm watching it, I'm like, what the hell is left in this movie?
Yeah.
And it was all the stuff that was left in the movie. I was like, oh, okay, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and there's some very cool stuff later on that suggests a much bigger world that's going on, where there are people existing outside of this entire conflict that's happening.
Yeah.
That you only see for one scene very briefly, and it's like, I wonder what's up with them.
Yeah. Yeah, that midsection is a little strange in that there's an action scene that takes place off camera,
Yeah.
which is odd. And then
I didn't mind that.
And well, I mean, it was a change of pace, which was fine, but it's like all that action up to that point, and then something happens away from us. It's like, oh, and then like that snippet you're talking about, where you're seeing how people have adapted to this certain terrain, and it's like, wow, this is interesting. And then it's like, nope, get away from that.
Yeah.
So, but that lends itself to now people can write their fan fiction about what's happening in that
Well,
little area.
And he's already said he's got 2 more movies in his brain.
I would like
in
to
this
see
universe,
them not in
so.
his brain on the movie theater screen.
Do you know what I really, really want? And I don't.
Tell us what you want.
Please, what I really, really want. I don't know if there is one that exists, but please, God, give me a that's not Borderlands, but a video game that's just something having to do with this in open world? And
Guess what?
Wait about 2
already
months, my
happening.
friend.
is that happening?
Max the video game.
Okay, great. Is it going to be like that open world?
Made by the Just Cause people.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There
when
you
I
go.
watched
I do wonder how much they were tied in with the production of this one, or if they're just basing it on the old stuff, or what. I have seen nothing about the game.
Oh, you haven't seen that gameplay trailer?
Nope, I haven't seen
my
anything about it.
I haven't either.
Watch that later.
Is it?
I mean,
Is it more?
No, it's pretty good. You should probably watch it.
It's
Alright.
If you get a chance.
it might be an enjoyable
Okay,
video
I will
game to
never
play.
watch it and throw the video game away.
No,
if it
you
comes
should.
near me.
You should maybe give it a look. It might be something that
it
suits
was
your
visually
interests.
pleasing and enticing to me.
Your complete lack of enthusiasm tells me that I should ignore it.
I would say that I enjoyed watching it. Your experience may differ. However, I think that knowing you a little bit, you might find some enjoyment in that.
Yeah.
Sounds like I'd rather kick myself in the balls than watch
I
it.
felt that there might be some emergent and also open world and possibly visceral experiences to be had.
Oh, visceral experiences.
Was it made by Visceral Games?
No, it was
Oh,
not.
well.
No.
But it does appear to be an avalanche of fun.
I'm not going to watch it then.
Okay.
Well,
Sounds like it's boring as shit.
Yeah, you're probably right. It most likely is.
so now that
Yeah.
we've told all of you about the best movie of all time, you should write in and tell us why it's not.
The B-mote.
Yes, please welcome people to do that because that wouldn't happen anyway.
Yeah, send Harlow and I hate mail
Yeah.
for hating this movie so much.
I don't think either of you hated it. I heard you say you didn't.
I didn't. It's
did
a,
not.
it's a terrific
If you
action
have to
movie
say
with strong characters.
If you have to say you didn't hate it. That means you internet hate it. You know the rules, Joe.
Oh,
but-
I've already established that
Internet anything is dumb at this point. I'm tired of
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
Tired of it.
I agree.
Tired
So
as
tell us
hell.
how people can talk to us on the internet.
If you would like to give us your shitty internet opinion, write us at bmf@bmfcast.com, or or if you'd like to give us your well thought out and well reasoned and smart opinion, you can also email it to bmf@bmfcast.com.
You can write that with a quill onto some parchment, roll it up, and send it by bottle. Garbage. Send a raven our way.
Yes.
Light it on fire.
Cast it into the night
Ashes
sky.
will make it here eventually.
Cast it into the wind, and it will carry it to us.
Yes.
So check out the website, bmfcast.com. There's a right-hand rail that has a bunch of buttons, and that's where you can complain to us about our opinions on all the social media sorts of things. Don't worry, we don't read it anyway.
I do.
Well, Chuck does, but he's
It
high
doesn't
most of the
count,
time anyway.
yes. Cocaine. Provided by Don
He's
Stroud.
he's like the Dr. Roxo of the Bamfcast. And if you want to send us a voicemail, or if you want to leave us a voicemail, give the Garfield phone. God, I can't speak now. If you want to leave us a voicemail, give the Garfield phone a call. The Bamfcast hotline 9105-JOCKS-BMF or 910-556-9263. And keep it short and sweet, because Garfield only has a 3-minute attention span.
Yes.
But keep it shorter than that, because we only have a 1 minute and 35-second attention span.
Huh?
Too
What?
late.
Yeah.
Third base.
So let's get out of here, shall we?
Let's do
Let's-
that.
I'm Harlow.
I'm Mackie.
I'm BJ,
I'm Chuck.
and this is Bamfcast Out,
Bye.
motherfuckers.
I'm Harlosa. Harliosa.
Ooh.
No, it's Harliosa.
Oh.
Wingardium Harliosa.
Oh,
All right.
that's a Harry Potter reference.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, goodbye, live stream.
Patronus.
Nice knowing you.
I'm going to go drink me some Patronus. I'm gonna summon one of them with my shot glass. All right. Good night.
Justo Patronus.
Oh, I usually end over here. Let's end over here. Goodbye, lower third. Goodbye, internet.
Bye.